That's right, it's time for Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever recorded. And today it's time for the big hit. Let's go! We've got the alpha male Joe Goratowski in the house. And the machine punter mummer is back.
Yes.
And the one who, as to of yet, has no nickname, but we will remedy that today. I just realized that. Nicole Freer is here.
Heyo.
It didn't dawn on me till I was just about to introduce you that I don't have a nickname for you yet.
A Nicole name?
A Nicole name. Go ahead. You can start.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's one pun. All right, guys. Welcome back in to Bad Movies Rule. What's up, guys? How you doing today? Joe? Doing good?
Yeah. I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing.
I'm doing. This is. I'm excited about this movie.
Who's at the kids' table?
Oh, you know what? You're not on.
Yeah.
Try again.
Dude, Joe's doing something.
Hey, that voice you hear over there
Hey, there you go.
is the mayor, Ryan Mueller, popping in at the kids' table today.
Let's not finish all the highlights over there, would you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Could you clean up over there? It's a mess.
There
I
is.
know.
Really.
You know, I'm working on it.
Guys,
Can't you hire somebody to do that? You are the mayor, after all.
he colors legitimately and well.
Right.
color.
Just save a couple of them for Kurt next time he's over there.
Delegate authority.
Yeah,
Please. It'd be great.
I'll do that.
He's awesome.
So today was kind of an audible we had to call. We were originally going to do Flight of the Navigator.
I know.
Which I wanted to. That's the one I signed up for.
Well, tough crap. And what happened was, I put a better vetting process in place so that this doesn't keep happening. But I realized it didn't in any way, shape, or form, based on any of our parameters, fit what we would have for qualifiers. So
That sounds like a failure of leadership.
No, I said 100% my fault. So we just did Demolition Man as our April Fool's good movie joke. And then we're about to do Napoleon Dynamite, which is voted on by the patrons.
Sweet.
And that doesn't also qualify. So if we had also done Flight of the Navigator, now we're doing like 3 out of 4 movies. And then what do our parameters even mean at that point? So
We just lost
Yeah,
garbage.
you throw 'em out the window.
just meaningless.
Yeah.
So we had to call an audible here. And so what we ended up with was 1998's The Big Hit.
Yay.
And so for those of you who do not, or I should say, to those of you who are new to the show, we're going to do what we always do, which is we're going to give you the vitals, the particulars, who directed it, who wrote it, who stars in it. We're going to then walk you through the movie scene by scene. So even if you've never seen The Big Hit, you can follow along with us and kind of get the gist of it. Or if you really want to go watch it, it's on HBO Max, at least at the time of this recording. After that, we'll give it some awards like we always do. Some good awards, some awards you never want to win. And then we're ultimately going to land on whether or not it's a good movie, a bad movie, or a bad movie that rules.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No.
All right. Well, let's just dive into the vitals then right now. We can get this thing kicked off.
Let's get it going.
I think it was falsely titled.
The Big Hit
Yeah.
was not a big hit.
No, it was not.
Could you pull that closer?
Sure.
Yeah.
Not
thank
your
you.
phone. Not your phone.
Well, I just pointed down. I was like, oh, I got it.
Get your phone closer.
Yeah, so it was a modest success. It had a $13 million budget and a box office of $27 million, which
Cut
means
that in half, roughly
kind of
the
is
exact
like,
amount.
broke even. Yeah,
barely.
so not a big hit. But it's not the name of the movie refers to a hit as in like you would put a hit out on someone.
Correct. Like
Which
a
then
hitman.
still would be falsely entitled, right? Because titled because
Yeah.
it was more like a kidnapping.
Should have been The Big Nab.
Yeah, the big nab.
No, the big nap. Well, that's like tired.
Yes,
No,
that
that's
was
what
afterwards.
that's what the audience does.
Not tired.
That was halfway through.
So right now, so the movie was directed by Kirk Wong. Now, Kirk Wong was a director of Hong Kong cinema. Tried to kind of bring that style over here to America with this movie. But then after The Big Hit, that was it. He
Yeah.
never did anything else.
He was definitely wrong.
He crossed the pond, and I don't know if he ever went back. In fact, can somebody check on Kurt Wong and see if he ever made it back to Hong Kong? Because it seems like he came to America and disappeared.
Nope, gone.
You just check now?
Yeah,
Yep,
just
just
now.
check.
Gone.
Perfect.
Just vanished.
Gone.
Someone should tell his family. You want to write a letter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
I appreciate
Well,
that.
they all
the
can't
best
be
Let me
right.
get out
handwriting
my
in the room.
calligraphy pen.
She has the best handwriting, and she'll probably be the softest out of every. Like, you'll just be very
Gentle.
blunt, gentle. That's the word, gentle.
I will, yes, be kind.
Thank you.
A strongly worded letter.
I want a strongly worded letter because it's their fault. They sent him over here. All right. Movie was written by Ben Ramsey. You guys know who that is?
No.
No.
He wrote
Please
the
tell us.
terrible Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Evolution from 2009. That is like a 2.6 on IMDb
Wow.
right now. It's a live action Dragon Ball movie that bombed when it came out. He also wrote Blood and Bone, that classic movie that I'm sure you've all watched
Yeah.
at least on your birthday every year, Nicole. You watch Blood and Bone and what else?
First thing I do
I-
is put that in.
I'm busy every time that part happens.
I'm busy having good birthday plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, good for Ben Ramsey. He keeps getting jobs. I don't want to, rip on him too hard, but my goodness, I'm still waiting for the first good one.
Make that money.
Movie starred Mark Wahlberg. This was 1998. This was the same year that Boogie Nights came out. So he hadn't done much before 98, and then all of a sudden 98 comes. Boogie Nights and The Big Hit come out same year. I don't know which one he shot first. The movie also stars Lou Diamond Phillips and Christina Applegate and Bokeem Woodbine and Antonio Sabato Jr. and a host of other people that we'll get into. As I said, broke even at the box office. Movie currently is sitting at a 6.0 on IMDb, right on the line, 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 57% audience score. So critics have said it's bad. Audience likes it a little bit more, but it's still rotten as an audience score. And then, like I said, just right at 6 on IMDb. So it's right teetering on the edge for people. But this movie has its fans. In fact, one of those fans is my brother Bob, who
Oh, that doesn't. No surprise there.
loves this movie.
Loves it.
I had never seen it before. I call him up and
He
I'm
loves
like,
the first 10 minutes.
you ever seen The Big Hit? And he said, oh, yeah, dude. I used to, in fact, it was on like my rotation. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, the
That
shower
movie's
scene.
Awesome.
It was good
It
stuff.
was his favorite.
Yeah.
Just oiled up men.
Well, what they did with casting, they're like, which underwear models can we pick for this movie?
Yeah.
All right, Calvin
That was
Klein
a
model,
prerequisite.
Antonio Sabato Jr. was a model.
Was he
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I mean, that's how he got his start.
Oh, see, I didn't even
He got
know.
his start. Actually, I know that the Love Will Never Do Without You video from Janet
I don't really follow male underwear models as much as I used to.
Yeah, I got a blog, so-
Okay. Maybe you can send me that link afterwards and I could catch back up because I really used to really enjoy it. Yeah. So that's kind of the particulars. Now, had any of you ever seen this movie prior to watching it for
Never.
the show? No?
I have no idea. I was sitting there as I'm watching it going, I think I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
And then I'm going, well, maybe I haven't. Maybe I did.
What it is, not to get too far ahead, but I think it has so many tropes. I mean, the thousands upon thousands of tropes. It just feels like you've watched the same movie 100 times.
It's possible.
Got it.
I
I
mean,
think that
there was like
that's what it
a
is.
regimen that you had to meet with
Yeah.
all those action movies back then. And
I have seen it before.
Oh, you
Have you?
had
I
seen
had.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We owned it.
What?
At our house.
Shut the
Awesome.
front door.
So Jim, my husband, loves bad movies. So he said, I wrote this down. I said, the fact that my husband already owned this movie tells you all you need to know about my husband. He loves bad movies.
I was sitting here thinking to myself after because again we do random polls for these episodes, right? So when Flight of the Navigator went off, I literally plugged in all I think 640 right now that are on the list, and it picks a number, and that's how we got The Big Hit, right? Which was originally recommended by Scott Kleinsmith.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
was the guy
nice.
that recommended this.
went to school with that fella.
We did back a long time ago.
Nice.
And so I remember thinking, oh wait, this is a Nicole episode. I felt bad that I was making you watch this, and to find out you're the only one here that owned the movie.
Well, I don't. I live in a house where the movie resides.
Okay, but in marital property state,
right.
it is
Touche,
just as much
sir.
yours.
Yeah.
That's half yours.
I get it. No, he used to just buy that was like he would.
Yeah.
Actually, the short story of it is he used to teach piano lessons.
Okay.
And then that money he would just use and buy DVDs of like movies that he either loved or loved laughing at. So because he loved laughing at it, he's like, I gotta buy it.
Perfect.
So he had a side gig just for his DVD
It worked out though.
little thing.
I tell you what, if I get this 10-year-old to sign up, I'm gonna get the big hit,
12 more seats.
It's just
12 more DVDs in my
worked out
collection.
that
La Bamba, Bats, or all Lou Diamond Phillips movies. You ever see Bats from 1999?
No.
It's that one.
Good calling and Lou
It's
Diamond.
just Jaws, but like with bats.
Yeah.
Was there another
Mostly
one
like-
where he was a cowboy?
Oh, sure.
Probably. But it's like any
Gunsmoke?
bad
I don't
action
remember what it
film.
was.
That's like a very specific
Yeah.
genre that he likes. Anyway.
Perfect.
Bad movies are a hell of a drug.
They are. So did you watch this with him?
Yes.
Okay, and he was like, he knew the whole thing probably.
Yeah, he was like, here comes the part when they go, busta, busta.
Oh, I can't wait now to
But
dive into this.
he has no delusion that it's like amazing.
Okay, all right, right. So he still understands it for what it is.
This movie came out, my wife was 7. And so when we were watching it together, she's never seen it before. And there's a lot of parts where she'd be like, is he holding a snowshoe? What is that? And I was like, no, that's a hand exercise.
grip strengthener.
Yeah, like I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so
but she thought it was a snowshoe
She
at
was
first.
literally
and I
sitting there like at your feet going, Kurt, tell me about the 90s.
yeah. On my every whim, just hanging on the winds.
Thank you, Papa.
Well, back in my day.
Lou
Oh
Diamond
my
Phillips
gosh.
played a hitman.
That's right. Lou Diamond Phillips plays Cisco in this movie, and I'll give you a little bit of a synopsis here before we dive in.
Oh.
But just so you understand, because it's an intricate plot here.
Cisco.
So
Crisco.
you
I was way off.
can say whatever you want.
The guy that sang the thong song?
Yeah.
That's with the
right.
cue.
Yeah.
Let me see that script. That's what he said when he got in
Yep.
there the first day.
Script.
You got to sample that on some better
I
song.
love it when my character goes busta busta busta. So here's the synopsis. Mark Wahlberg, okay.
And this funky bunch.
You guys familiar with,
There was no
Mark
funky
Wahlberg?
bunch in
It would have been better if the Funky Bunch was in it.
No. There's a funky bunch in here, but not a funky bunch.
Right, exactly.
Both meanings of the word apply.
PH.
That's right.
Funky.
There's something funky going on here. Melvin is Mark Wahlberg. Melvin is a contract killer who works for a guy named Paris, who employs a motley crew of hitmen, and that's kind of the Antonio Sabato Jr., Bokeem Woodbine, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Mark Wahlberg, along with all other kinds of 90s henchmen and goons, all the nameless, like the people that don't get name tags. Like those are the 4 guys
Yep.
that get name tags.
Everybody with the suits, black
That's right.
suits, tie, sunglasses.
They don't get a name.
Don't get a name.
They're just fodder. But yeah, so that's basically the premise of the film as we head in here, right? A band of contract killers that do these. The movie starts with them pulling off a specific job, and then after that, we'll get into it. So, you guys ready to dive into the plot of this movie?
Yeah, let's
Indeed.
just
Let's
jump
get it
right
done.
in.
Let's do it.
Let's just go right to the end and want to go home.
All right, so
I want to go home and watch Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
feel free to go ahead and do it after. You can watch it. I'm not saying you're no longer allowed to watch Flight of the
Oh
Navigator.
no, I love that movie.
Can I talk about
can't-
Flight of the Navigator?
Not
I
on
can't
this
even talk
episode.
today. So are you sure?
I'm positive.
Please?
Too many Twinkies. All right. So here's how we're introduced to Mark Wahlberg's character. That's the first thing that happens in this movie. Is Mark Wahlberg?
Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. You guys know me.
Yes. Thank you.
Mark Wahlberg.
How's your mother?
For me. Yeah, see how do you mother for me?
That's exactly what he was like in the movie.
That's exactly what the
That's
whole
the T.
Good
Andy
job,
Samberg's
Andy.
bit from SNL.
Yep.
I'm going to talk to this donkey, okay?
Yeah.
What's it like being a donkey, man? That's pretty cool.
Say hi to your mother for me, okay?
About it.
Literally how he was in this
So good.
movie. Okay.
Yes.
So he's there, and this dude drops off a chopped up body at his house. Okay. Well, we find out it's his side chick's house, but
Yes.
it's a chopped up body in 2 like hefty bags that he's like doing it's like covering his friend's shift. It's so nonchalant and casual.
Yeah, just
Hefty
bloody-
bags that
yeah,
a dog can't tear.
Right.
It's true. We'll get into that. But
Yeah.
bleeding bags just everywhere, just blood, it's like okay. It's like no big deal. It's all nonchalant. They got murdered, chopped up bodies. The side chick's like, oh, that guy's pretty cute. He's got a head, doesn't have a head, but
Yeah, it was a very weird way
Drags
to
the whole body up to the
Yeah.
Not put a
master
towel down
bathroom.
under the bag when you carry one.
Why is he bathing it? The first complaint he has is, well, you didn't clean him,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like we got to. So he like gives
been a
the body
clean
a
it.
I thought it
bath.
was like a Breaking Bad kind of situation.
like a clean off the bone kind
guess
of a
so,
thing,
yeah.
right? Like dissolve the
I thought he was
I thought he
dissolving
was
it
going to
and
go
putting
that
him down
route,
a
but no, I
drain.
think he actually
Yeah.
just
But then he turned the shower on.
He turned the shower. I
put
think he
like
was
a
gonna,
couple
like-
of legs in the shower. Put the
Yeah.
rest in the bathtub.
It must have smelled so bad.
I'm telling you, I'm not rodding.
And they're like, just
I'm not
gonna make
rodding
out.
out that sink.
No,
No.
there's no way. And
No contract for me.
the plumber. Have you ever had to deal with anything like this?
No.
Okay.
Never.
He can't say.
So if you were to rot
That's
out,
true. I would not be allowed to say.
if you were to rot out a bathtub and you
Yeah.
came back up with like a big toe bone.
Yeah. I would bring that to the homeowner and say, I don't know about.
Did you guys misplace a toe?
I don't. Did you guys? Any of you lose a toe? This is.
And they would go, yes,
And then
we did.
I'd be like, here you go. You should probably put that in a Ziploc bag, keep it fresh. Try and put it on some ice, maybe get it re-sewn back on.
So the girl comes in. It's actually Leela Rashan, who was the girl from Knockoff, that Jeans movie that Jean-Claude Van Damme was in. And so she's the second time she's appeared on this podcast. And yeah, she's kind of weird about like, hey, let's make out with each other right next to this chopped up corpse. And she's like, oh, this gets me turned on. But then like decides, I don't know. Once she puts her foot in it, that kind of turns her on.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
Right.
Everybody's got a line, okay?
That's true.
And that
And
was
she
it.
stepped over it.
Yeah.
She goes to take off, but what we get from her is that she's ragging on Mark Wahlberg because he's not giving her enough money, right? You're into me for $25,000, or I got to pay my JAG and my mortgage and all this stuff, and give me some money, give me some money. And he's like, all right, baby, I'll try and get to you as fast as I can, okay? And
Say hello to your mother for me.
Say hi to your mother for me, okay?
okay, and she goes to leave, and he's like, I could just leave this here, like, and come back and get it on. It's like Thursday. I'll come back and get it on Saturday. Yeah. And I'm watching this with Ryan Madeline. He's like, if I leave a chicken on my counter for like half of a day, it reeks in there for the next week.
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave this body in the bathtub.
And lukewarm.
Like hours
Soapy
later,
water.
that chicken's reeking.
Yeah.
Bloody people milk, basically. Once you put the water in there.
That's definitely not Maalox.
They were trying to do some comedy here, but they had such a dark theme.
Well,
it was too hard, too dark of a theme to make light of it. I think
it's
that
like,
was the problem.
Pick a lane.
You've nailed the entire movie here. You have.
It's a movie that wasn't quite sure
Right.
what it was.
Is it a spoof of this type of movie? Is it sending up the genre? Or is it just trying to be a comedy and just so bad at it seems like it's a spoof?
Right.
Or is it a serious action film? Because there's some points it goes so dark, not just this scene, but other ones,
Dark.
where I'm like, this isn't a spoof if
This
you're doing
isn't
this.
fun. This is not supposed to be funny.
No, well, I know,
It
but
is because there's a lot of there's a lot of times I could see what the page probably said of the script when he was doing all of his like dad jokes and things.
Yeah, I
Like-
get that.
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's
But when you read the comments, because again, every movie has its people that love it, right? We've talked about this umpteenth number of times. And so when you read the reviews on like IMDb of the people that gave it 9, 10 stars, they all say the same thing. Well, if people are like, you just don't get it. This is just supposed to be a send up, a spoof, a comedy. Don't take it so seriously. And I'm like, well, I can see that it might be trying to do that, but it's failing miserably.
Yeah,
That's the problem. I don't mind a spoof, a send up of action
exactly.
movies.
How about they put down their latte and write a real review instead of one from the coffee shop?
Seriously. All right, so then we get a little. We find out that Mark Wahlberg's character knows Jim Cotta.
Yes.
There's a pommel horse in that high-rise
There is,
workout center.
and that was I wonder why he's exercising in the dark where we can't see his face. Oh, because he has to do a whole pommel horse routine. It was clearly not Mark Wahlberg.
It was
think it
Kurt
was.
Thomas.
It was Kurt.
I think it was Mark Wahlberg.
I think it was. That's the second time.
I think it is.
That's our first pommel horse action sequence since Jim Cotta.
Yeah.
We've now had 2 pommel horse related scenes.
This
in
is
movies.
amazing. How many movies
What do you think the third
feature
one? I can't wait.
a pommel horse?
At least
2.
There's
We
got to be at
two
least
now.
one more. I'll say 3.
And
There's
one
got to be at
more.
least one more out there somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So Melvin,
Blades
after he
of
gets
Glory.
done working out, we get the locker room scene, which was what Joe was alluding to earlier, where it's just a bunch of oily, sweaty guys standing around with their. I don't know how else to I don't know.
It's a lot of gratuitous butt shots.
Yeah.
But it just there's just a vibe.
It's a big room, and all the lockers are very close together.
Yeah. So they could all
I
fit in
didn't
the
take
same
it that way,
shot.
really.
No.
I see it as like guys who are so used to being like having all their parts out that doesn't matter to them. So I didn't see it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. There is.
All right.
People do get comfortable, and you can't have a comfort level with your own looks. And
I mean,
right.
if you've been in a locker room, especially like at a especially with senior citizens, which is the one I used to be a long time ago, people are just like walking around.
Yeah.
And the towel is not
Yeah.
important. So
How many senior centers though have a bunch of oiled up 12-pack dudes
One I went to.
broing out,
Sure had it.
talking about jerking their dicks.
Yeah.
More than you know.
Yeah.
But I will say this though. I will admit.
You know, like guys do.
Yeah,
I used to go see my
How
grandpa
many
all the
times
time.
have we
and he
hung
was
out and just talked about masturbating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
One time.
Especially once you got your butts out, right? I'm like, you guys ever just get after it?
And I'm like, yeah, do it. And I'm got my hand
it's
strangling
totally
there.
normal in a
But they're
straight.
going for the absurdist. I think. So again, I don't think that's what it is.
Okay, that's fine.
But again,
It's comedy.
Yeah.
it's comedy.
That's
But-
what it is.
But if
They were reaching.
I'll get this out eventually.
Please.
If I look like that, I probably would walk around more
Yeah.
like that.
You know what?
Just saying.
Me too, bro. I'd be like,
Seriously.
you want to go toss the pigskin, and we'll go out there and
yeah.
go out and
shirtless.
throw the football
Any
around
opportunity for me to drop my drawers
with our butts out.
I'll do it. If I look like that,
Yeah,
But no, I'm over here eating pig skins.
it's the same thing.
Right.
no.
Pork rinds?
Tossing the
Pork rinds, right?
pork rinds, yeah. One's tossing the pig skin, and the other one's eating it.
All right. Well, anyway, regardless of
Can
what
we
we think
move on?
about this scene, why this was the most important scene in the movie.
I looked down and Jim was like, Nicole, you're missing it. I was like, it's okay. It's fine.
This is here for you. This is literally why it's in the movie.
Great.
Okay. Hey, well, maybe
could
not
just-
just for you. I think that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Is it? But
Watch this part. No. Watch this part.
I could just see him.
maybe
just
it's there for Jim. I don't know.
Slowly turn to her. Huh?
You got
Huh?
it? No, it
You
was
look.
just
You
fine.
looking at this?
And maybe they were trying to like, explain why or give themselves a justification for all the other
Yeah.
stuff.
Basically, it's to establish their relationship with each other and that they're going on this big job together.
Yeah.
We do find out that Bokeem Woodbine's character has taken up masturbation as a hobby because he has been apparently engaging in sexual activity since he was 10 years old.
Which is just, that's how he said it.
Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly
He
how he
didn't
said it.
need to masturbate.
No. And so now he's discovered this way of taking care of business, so to speak, that saves him a lot of money. And so from now
Except
on,
for the lotion's expensive.
That's
He keeps buying
really-
at the store. That's a funny scene.
expensive. Was it? I think it was at the airport buying that lotion. You know how
was.
expensive that had to have been?
What are the fees that they put on?
Yes, that's
What
what
are
I
the
took from it
fees?
too. No, I didn't.
Yeah. What are the fees that they put on it at the airport? When you buy something. Oh, never.
Duty
Duty free.
Duty free.
Any duty free,
That's why-
duty free shop.
That's why he shops there for the duty free tax.
That's right. Let's move on because
Anyway.
we've talked a lot about masturbating. All right, so here's the big job that they've got to do.
I thought we weren't talking about masturbating.
We're talking about the big job that
Got it.
that the other guy.
gotcha.
That
Thank
My
you.
bad.
anyway. So here's the big hit that starts off the movie. These guys all show up in construction outfits. Like,
Yes.
I mean, you've worked a lot of construction sites. That's how construction workers
All the
dress.
time. Yeah. Sleeveless,
And that's how they walk.
carrying
as well.
giant toolboxes up. All just, hey, how's it going?
They dress like construction workers, but in a way that a male stripper would dress as a construction worker.
Yeah. All their gear is absolutely 100% clean.
Yes.
No dirt, no
dirt,
marks,
nothing.
no nothing on it.
You got
Like they
one
rented
guy-
it.
Again, my theory stands. He's wearing a mesh tank top. Okay. You've got this other guy who's wearing just an apron. Okay.
Yes,
Like
yes.
just an apron. He's going to a construction site. Oh, I'm here to fix your pipes. This is how the adult movies start this way.
It's basically like Kurt Russell walking in with a telephone being like, well, we're here to fix your phones.
Yeah.
Right. The lines are out and we got to get it done.
If they were in Zoolander, it would be a lot better.
Right.
Right? Because that was more like that whole male.
But I think there was
male
like, they were
model.
trying
look.
to get like 10% of it. I honestly think there was like a vibe that they wanted they just didn't achieve.
No.
It's my
No, you're probably right.
cents.
You're probably right. So they get to this building. The whole point is that there's this old guy that's got about 700 bodyguards that they're trying to get to and knock off. And the guy that's able to kill him gets a $25,000 bonus. They set up outside the room. Bokeem goes down to cut the power, and they're all hanging out outside the door, getting their guns, ready to go, putting their night vision goggles down, all this stuff. And inside, you hear these bodyguards pull these three girls over to the bad guy, like, "Oh, look, I got this
this
one.
out.
She's from
Midwest.
She's from Wisconsin.
Yeah. No
Right?
tattoos.
$50,000.
That is, again, they're trying. This is a real dark thing, and they're making real light of it.
Well, here's the joke: is that instead of her being upset that she's being sex trafficked, she's upset that it's $50,000.
Yeah.
like she has this response, which was like $50,000.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted. How dare you?
Oh, I've just been kidnapped from my family and being forced into,
Right.
Yep.
some kind of sex slave type thing.
At
But
least
50
get
grand.
60,000 easy.
Clint would be like, hell yeah, 50 grand.
All right.
He's like, I'll do anything for 50 grand.
You think if Clint got kidnapped?
Yeah,
to be
that's right.
Right.
Clint's definitely worth 50 grand. He's from Wisconsin.
No tattoos.
No tattoos. Oh my gosh, Clint Bush would fetch $50,000 on the black market.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
He doesn't know it yet, but he will find out
We'll
soon.
find out.
He will in a few weeks.
Ryan, how much would you be willing to pay for Clint Bush on the market?
Clint Bush?
Yeah.
An open market? Black market, I mean?
Yeah.
50's probably fair.
Yeah, okay, all right.
50's
Fair
probably
enough.
fair.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
He's got
go.
skills.
He's got skills.
Right. There's more to him than just meets the eye.
A more accurate definition of the big hit.
Yeah. So Mark Wahlberg busts in the door with some night vision. Well, first they cut the power. All the power goes out.
Which there was a little bit of a comedic moment there as well, because he gets the wire cutters that are too small to fit around the wires.
Well, why did he have
Yeah,
a-
bolt cutters.
He's
Yes,
bolt cutters.
bolt cutters, correct.
For the electric.
Why didn't he just flip the breaker switches?
Punch it even. Just punch the breaker in the
Yeah.
face.
Just walk in the room and just
There's
turn out
one.
the light.
There's one main that you just flip and everything goes
That's
off.
all you got to do.
He creaks the door, opens, just see his hand come in. Flip the lights.
But only one of the lights.
happened?
So many.
Jeez, hit the deck. The lights went out.
I love how his night vision goggles have like RoboCop style targeting system inside
Yeah.
of them.
That's
And
awesome.
When the dudes
That's
get
totally
shot, they go like 40 feet in the air.
Yes.
Like through the wall. It's
Yes.
awesome.
Am I mistaken that the other bad guys also had night vision goggles?
Why did they have night vision goggles?
In case the lights go out.
Yeah.
In this
They're ready.
hotel room,
Yep.
they're like, make sure you pack the night vision
Yes.
goggles.
You
We're
never
going to
know
the-
what's going to happen.
You got your NVGs?
They were just casually checking their guns.
that was on the packing list for the trip.
Check them.
We're not expecting any
Everybody
trouble.
got a sheet.
Towel, sheets,
Toothbrush?
night vision goggles.
NVGs.
But there was some breakdance shooting.
Nicole, you know there was the one bad guy that was like, why do we have to carry these gigantic night vision goggles around all the time? We're in a freaking hotel. Pew. Other guy's like, why do we have our night vision goggles as he's
Thanks,
putting them on?
Dwayne.
Shut up, Dwayne. You're an idiot.
See, I told you. You're right. There was some break dancing.
Yeah.
So Mark Wahlberg's like, I'm not just going to kill these guys.
Oh, no.
But I'm going to pop and lock and break dance
The
while I'm
very
shooting
best
them.
part of the movie, I think, is when he was rolling down a banister, head and ankles, just rolling
Yes.
down.
Which makes you harder to shoot for sure.
Plank rolling, as I like to call it.
That should be on his resume.
All we needed was
It is.
breakdancers spin on the top of their heads. Like
Yeah.
we needed
And
that, and
just
he's
holding
just
out
shooting
guns.
people in
Yeah.
every direction while he's just spinning on top of his head.
It'd be like hanging iced tea upside down, spinning them around.
He's killing all these guys. His friends do not come into the room to help him.
No.
They sit out in the hallway like, yeah, no, we're holding
we're
them off
good,
back
yeah.
here.
Just firing off
the
random
gun.
shots like they're hurting people.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the part where Mark Wahlberg's up against the corner and he's going to throw the tear gas canisters and he releases the tear gas directly into his own face?
Yes.
No, I missed that.
He's pointing them at himself. He's not wearing a mask.
No.
He pops them. There's for at least a 2 count, just
least,
spraying
and then he chucks
directly
them
into
over
his
his shoulders,
face, and
yeah.
then he throws them.
Maybe his heart is too pure and he's immune. Okay?
He's
You
built
don't
up
know.
an immunity.
You don't know.
He just sits there and just takes tear gas canisters
Unknown to
every
the bad
night.
guys, I've been spending several years building up an immunity to tear gas, just like iocane powder.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay, but then why does he have to?
Inconceivable.
What was the purpose of the pulling back the curtains really hard?
Well, so he does the flashbang that blinds everybody.
Okay.
The only flashbang I've ever seen that lasts for 2 minutes.
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kills everybody. Then it gets dark again, but because they're wearing night vision goggles, it will blind them. So he
But
pulls
they're all
open.
running down the hallways, and he's
Away.
shooting them in the back.
Yes. Oh no! If you're looking for it to work in any way, it doesn't.
But okay, I
But I think that's what they're thinking, Joe.
Okay.
Is that we're gonna blind them? But he's
yeah,
an
I know
idiot.
that. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is one of those moments. Where
Do it.
I hate movies.
I think you might be in the wrong place.
And this movie was extremely hard for me to sit through because I just wanted to turn it off. Every second I wanted to turn it off because I was gonna put down notes, but I lost all will
Yeah.
to live on this movie. But yeah, he's pulling back curtains really aggressively and he's shooting. Yes, that would make sense if they had night vision goggles, but they didn't have night vision goggles.
Right.
They're all running away down the hallway, and he's just shooting them in the back.
But wouldn't you be
yet
startled?
He's pulling them down.
That's all we
and
needed.
Do you know why he did it?
The
then?
cut,
They were running where
editor
the
screwed
darkness
up.
was.
The editor screwed up.
No
those
reason.
scenes were supposed to be used for the night vision setup. Instead, they use those scenes for them running away, getting shot
It's
in the back.
so dumb, dude.
The editor screwed up and used them in the wrong sequence.
I know. This movie was ruined at 3 different levels.
I assumed it was a very complicated room.
And I'm not saying I'm not giving away because I think you might be surprised what I ultimately think of this movie. But as far as what they were trying to accomplish, at the script level, there were major issues. The way it was shot, major issues. And then whatever they pieced this together with at the end, well, like you said, was terrible.
completely wrong.
Well, and even the storyline. There's this stuff that I'm like, that's not necessary.
No,
None
God.
of this is necessary.
There's a whole subplot I'm skipping over during this as we go through.
Yeah, there's just parts where I'm like, why? Why do they
The
even
guy
need
drinking.
the side chick?
Yeah.
And then the side chick has a side guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is he
But
necessary?
I can really imagine
None of them are necessary.
the meeting that they had, like planning the script ahead of time. Like, okay, we're
Oh,
going to get
yeah.
underwear models as hitmen, right?
Check.
And then we're going to get 2 women, both for Marky Mark, because he's going to be huge. We just know it. And
Check.
Yeah.
and we're going to have a stereotypical schoolgirl. We'll get there, whatever. But
Check.
it's like all those checks. So is
Yeah.
that kind of?
Oh, yeah.
that's
How many
why.
tropes can we throw in this one
That's
movie?
right. That's
All
right.
of them.
You know, the guy leaned back in his chair and he's like, I'll tell you what, Nicole. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We wrote this script, those 4 guys. Check this out. We'll get Antonio Sabato Jr.
Shut up.
Okay? Put him in one scene.
No
he
way.
won't be in the rest of the movie. Okay?
You'll wonder where he went.
We'll wonder where he went. We'll get,
But will you?
you know how we wrote that part for Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
We'll cast Lou Diamond Phillips and we'll still have him play it like he's Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, how much money you want to make, Nicole?
Yeah.
How much money you want to make?
You're right.
We'll hire Bokeem Woodbine, the guy from The Rock.
He's not bad. All right.
We'll give him a running bit that's hilarious
It
through the
really
whole
is.
movie.
That is.
Okay?
His picture's going to be up on the wall. Literally.
How much money do you want to make?
You're so right.
All
Green light it. That's exactly how that meeting.
Exactly.
You know who else we need? We need the guy from Ninja Turtles 3. That's who else we need to be the dad
Get him in there.
Nice.
of the
The Funky
schoolgirl.
Bunch, get him in there.
All right, where the hell were we? Okay, so as he's pulling these curtains back, we could do a whole episode on this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, my most notes are from the first scene.
Yeah.
As he's pulling the windows open, there is a guy in the jacuzzi with the 3 sex traffic victims that shoots him through the window.
Yes.
But we never show that he's wearing a vest or anything.
He's not wearing a vest. He's just wearing a
A robe.
a construction apron to hide
Oh,
his
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's laying down in the window. Then you see the guy in the jacuzzi get shot.
Yep.
But then he sits up. Talking about the editing.
Again,
thing,
editing.
Right? Then he sits up and fires his gun. And then he walks over, and I swear to God, he walks over, and it's seriously
Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. You guys know me.
like he just walks up to these girls like, "Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
What's it like being in a jacuzzi? What's that all about, huh?"
It's kind of red now. It's pretty gross.
Yeah. Say hi to your mother for me, okay? Right? Like, it is. These girls are like,
Yes. And then his crew comes in, kicks in the door, shoots some dead people on the ground, then walks up to the girls who've been again
Trafficked.
kidnapped, trafficked, shot at, completely
Sitting in a bloody whirlpool.
exactly horrified, and then they're hit on.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then
I
when
want to
they
pour
don't
milk on you
respond-
and make me part of your complete breakfast.
Yeah, and then when they don't give
Come
the proper
on, Lou Diamond
response.
Phillips.
That's awesome.
Lou Diamond's like, "Yo, you got them numbers for me, girl?"
Yeah.
With this gold tooth.
You don't like this? You must be these lesbians or something.
Yeah, doesn't he call them lesbians?
Yeah, I call
Sure
them
does.
lesbians because they're not into it.
See, this movie in this first 10 minutes, gold.
No.
Chef's kiss.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's the worst piece of crap that I think I've ever seen.
It's fantastic.
I'd rather, at this point in time, I'm torn between Boyfriend School and this.
Oh, wow.
I am dead serious.
See, I think Jim and I understand what this is.
Throwing down.
I did like when they were drinking their coffee while Marky Mark was
Right.
shooting non-dairy creamer.
That's right. I would not have expected that from these guys.
Right.
Right?
Because they brought coffee and
They
fancy
brought
cups.
coffee.
And
Why?
cups.
Well, and they did not miss an opportunity to use a perfect sound effect for that. It was just like, bloop, bloop.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It was like the rest of the editing out the window, but make
gunfire.
sure we get that non-dairy creamer in
I
there.
worked for a coffee commercial. I had this on file.
None of the gunshots match up, but the bloop is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's guys, they're trying to come in and take some credit. They're shooting up dead bodies. I don't know if they're trying to get him killed or they think it's funny.
It's
or
to show that Marky Mark's this excellent assassin.
he kills everybody by himself.
Right.
I think the whole reason the scene exists is to show Marky Mark is really good at his job and that he gets stepped
He's a
on.
pushover.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he's got an incredible vertical leap. After he comes
Oh
off the
my
stairs, he
gosh.
does that freaking frog leap while he's shooting. What was that about? I don't know. Or
Yeah.
for? It's like
It
the
was
guy
like
that
the Spider-Man
jumps-
leap. Yeah.
It's like the guy in the NFL that jumps to catch a pass that he doesn't have to jump to catch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Jumps it, and then he reaches down to get it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what that reminded
Catches
me
it
of.
between his knees.
Yep.
Exactly.
Makes it
All
look
right.
dramatic.
So he shoots
You could
the
do
old
anything in your
guy.
Calvin Kleins.
Another thing about Mark Wahlberg. Okay, I'm just gonna say it right now. Did you guys ever see Date Night with Steve Carell?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's got that
For the love of God, put a shirt
on his shirt.
Yeah.
He had his shirt open in every scene practically.
He was cooking dinner.
and with his shirt
shirt
just
open. Yeah.
And I don't know what that tattoo was. We had like a tattoo right above his six pack in like the worst place.
It was the handle for the six pack.
Is that what it was?
You just picked it up.
20 points.
And I'm like, okay, man. How about you shirt it up and we'll get to the next scene.
That's yep.
Unnecessary tattoo.
Unnecessarily. How about Joe? You
Yes.
loved this movie. How about how he escapes the building? Do you remember how he escapes the building?
Oh yeah, he ties off to a radiator, and then sets this device that's
It's a bomb. It's like a liquid thing.
napalm liquid bomb or something that was
When you press it together,
And then you have to lock the mechanism together.
the
somehow.
liquid
Yeah.
pours in and then it blows up.
Yeah, I don't
Which
know
is
where that
important for
came
later.
from.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
Some liquid bomb.
They made it for this movie, maybe.
K-Rose syrup.
Yeah.
We need blue liquid and green liquid.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
it mixes
Kool-Aid
together,
jammers.
it turns purple.
Yep, and it also removes
wait a second.
stains,
A lowdown-
grass stains from your pants. It also does that as well.
A low down dirty shame also did this exact same trope that is also impossible. If you guys remember him bungee jumping out of that sports store.
Yep.
Down
Oh,
a couple levels.
yeah.
Yep.
And as Clint pointed out in that episode, you would fly back and smack your face on the wall behind
Yep.
you. But that also doesn't happen in this movie.
Not when you dip into a pool.
He just kind of bounces, comes back up, does like a little pirouette.
That's right.
A couple little flippy flips while the building is exploding over his head.
Yeah.
And then he falls in the water and he gets this wonderfully disgusting, horrible CG attempt at reflection
In the water of the
fire
explosion.
while he's in the water and
Yeah.
the pieces of building hitting
Debris.
the water.
There's a confused guy in a bathing suit just to the left of him. That's
yes, yes.
He's looking up. What are you looking at?
Why are we doing
I don't.
this?
There's nothing there.
Is there something up
But I
there?
will say the bungee, the shot of it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it wasn't a physics.
No, correct. I think that guy was
example?
on vacation. I don't even think he knows he's in this movie.
He was just chilling by the pool.
Just chilling by
Just
the pool.
there.
And he's just still sitting there going,
He had some
I was in a movie? I saw Marky Mark jump into a pool.
I earned some points
And
in
Marky
this
Mark's
Holiday
like-
Inn.
That's right.
Right. That's right.
How you
They
doing?
were snacks.
How's your mother?
I just rolled with it.
He got out of the pool and he's
Yeah.
like,
Say hi to your mother for me, okay?
"What's up? You're an old guy hanging out at a pool? What's that all about, huh?"
Oh my gosh, I need that recording in my watch so I could just press it throughout the day. Oh, I'd use it all the time.
This building just exploded. It's pretty crazy, right?
I'm at Boogie Nights. I got a big wiener.
Whoa.
So after this, we meet Paris.
Water's
Let's
cold.
keep
Leave me
going.
alone.
Paris is the guy they all work for, which is
Yeah.
Avery Brooks.
thank you, Avery Brooks. We don't know anything about it. We never find out what the organization is, if it's just this guy, his company, whatever, but he contracts these guys.
It's like a John Wick company.
Dealing
about it
out
like that.
money.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, here's your
Hitman
cut,
company.
here's your cut, here's your cut. And he gives the $25,000 bonus to Melvin, who killed the guy. But Antonio, see, I can't even, Cisco, Lou Diamond Phillips, starts to go like, oh, I killed the guy. He was still alive after you shot him.
out. He had a pulse, so I shot him in the face again.
We got two witnesses right here.
And so Mark, this is the first time we see that he literally is a pushover and that
Massive push.
he literally can't stand anybody not liking him. He says
Which
that
he
3
says
times.
literally out loud in the film. Like,
Yeah.
way to be subtle. My issue as a
Subtext.
character is that I just can't stand it.
Instead of actually trying to portray that through
Yeah,
his
show
acting,
it.
he just goes, "No, I have problems."
Right. I needed
I'm just
Cisco
gonna
to then
say
be like,
my
my
problem.
father was never there for me, so I try to compensate
Yeah.
by being extra masculine.
Furthermore,
They should have all done that. It would have cut out so much of the movie. Just say what your problem is and let's move on.
Like started out with him as at a therapy session.
Yes,
and
all
then
of them.
just lay it all out right there.
Let's do it.
And then be like, all right, the rest of the movie, we know he's a pushover.
What's your problem, man? Well, we do have. There's another character that is also very transparent in all he thinks about, because we cut back to the locker room and you get Bokeem Woodbine's character Crunch just kissing both of his hands and talking sweetly to them.
Well, no.
He's got a grip strengthener.
Well,
in
he's
one.
kissing the grip
That's
strengthener.
right. And he's just like he kissed his hands too.
It's foreplay.
He's like, that's when I realized, because they made the joke in the first scene, and I'm like, this is going to be his thing through the entire movie.
That's it.
And they literally, every scene he's in,
That's all he was.
He doesn't get out of the scene without making some comment about how he plays with himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, they sat around a table.
Yeah.
Well, and the best part is he accepted the role. You don't think there's a moment where he was like,
somebody sent him a script. He's like, let me see here. Let me, dick joke. Dick joke.
Yep.
Masturbation joke. More masturbation jokes.
But he went all in.
He did.
Picture on the wall in the adult section. Sign me up.
Yep.
That's right. That's
Good.
literally what happened.
Sign me up.
All right, so back at home we meet Pam, and now Pam is actually Melvin's fiance. We find out now this other girl was a side chick. He's back at his house. Pam shows up, played by Christina Applegate.
Who was just coming off of Married with Children.
That's right. So she was, kind of big it girl in the 90s.
I'm surprised she didn't play Harley Quinn.
And not that we haven't already laid this out in what we were just talking about with Bokeem Woodbine's character in the script and all this stuff, but like the first thing she says when she walks in the door is my ass still perky?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he follows her around, like holding on to it for the next scene.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, like a teenager's. And I go, whoever wrote this script has never had a consensual encounter with a woman before.
Never.
In his life.
Never.
Character was just written so one dimensional, just one.
Yeah. I'm like, either it's a 13-year-old boy or a very sexually frustrated grown man wrote this
Bags
script.
of sand.
Take the latter.
We find out that the one girlfriend who is extorting him for money, because when we get our first cutaway, that the side chick from the first scene is actually talking to her other boyfriend.
Right.
Going, I can get a little more money out of him. I can get a little more money out of him. In the same scene, Pam, his fiance, says that we spent all our savings, $50,000, on paying off my dad's tax fraud. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now he doesn't have any money. And this girl's all over him to get another $25,000 out of him.
Yep.
So he has to then call Cisco, who had said, hey, we're kind of doing this moonlighting thing. We're going to kidnap this person. It's off the books, side work, basically.
Which Paris doesn't allow.
Which is bad, right? But he's like, now I told him no, but now I got to jump in because I'm out of money and I got these two girls that are
because that's the logical thing to do.
milking him for money, essentially. And so this is how we end up in what becomes the plot of the movie, which is this kidnapping plot. Again, it's a movie about kidnapping called The Big Hit.
Yep. We all good? Everybody's good with it?
The big kid.
Page one down.
Page one down.
Everybody on board?
On board.
So the setup is there's this rich Asian guy. This guy's so rich, he's tripping over his bags of money, man. He's got them all over the place.
And he literally did have bags of money all over the place because that's exactly what they were doing when they were in his house seizing his assets.
But they cut
They're
to the
picking up
next
bags
scene.
of money.
Was there a bag of money? Really?
There are three bags of money.
There were like 2 bags of money they
love
were
that.
throwing around.
This is what I'm saying. It's at some parts it's trying to be a spoof.
That's a stupid joke.
We're here
you
to
could just
take all your
imagine-
bags of money.
I can hear them just going, and wouldn't it
Seriously.
be funny? And wouldn't it be so funny?
If you actually did
It'd be
have-
so funny.
Oh my God!
I think
seriously,
that's what happened.
It'd be so funny if you actually had bags of money.
It's like groupthink. Like, you're right.
That's how you
It's
pay off a
funny.
joke. That's comedy, everybody. Okay, that's how the big boys write comedy.
And then all the idiots around the board table all stood up at the same time. Yes. Thank you, sir. How would you like your coffee?
Non-dairy creamer.
Right. Well, the point is they're going to kidnap this guy's daughter, and they think he's so rich. But literally, the next scene, they cut to him getting all of his assets seized from his house. So I thought,
Because
now
he
I'm
made
pro.
a movie.
because he
made a movie.
the most expensive movie of all time, apparently.
And he gold-plated all of
All
his
the ads.
displays and
Yep.
ads.
And that will pay off in the end.
Yes,
Right?
Sure,
And that's the only-
payoff.
That's the
payoff.
yes. That joke sunk in. It took a second to get.
It's all right.
I heard the
But
bloop
yeah,
when
so
it
they did all of this just to have that tiny little payoff in the end of the movie.
Yeah.
but it served no purpose that he was bankrupt.
No.
And he doesn't seem to be bankrupt anytime after this.
Well, that's why he wasn't motivated to. I mean, he wanted his daughter back, but it wasn't going to work, I think.
No, but I
Well,
think
that's why he was
funny.
also trying to kill himself.
The joke, part of the joke
They
was I
joked
think
about
the
that.
movie itself, right? And being like, he spent $300 million to star in and direct a movie called Taste the Golden Spray.
Can we do that movie? Can we, is that
I am
on the
busy.
list?
That day.
I am busy.
Nicole, but this time you got the lead role in this one.
Yeah.
You're the girl that's being held in the poster. And we're going to get an old Asian guy to hold you.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of, around the whole table again, we're going with the directors and the writers and everything.
Yeah, the boardroom.
Let's have this old Asian guy, anytime he's on the phone, say, hello?
Oh, yeah.
How tasteless is he's
I know,
Asian?
dude.
You don't even need to do that. Like,
I know.
but they totally dragged it out. Like, this is going to be hilarious.
Well, there's all kinds of that stuff.
Yeah. and it's just,
They literally told him, hey, can you be
more Asian than you are? Is that
That'll be
possible?
hilarious.
It's going to be funny. It'll pay off
You guys
later.
are Jewish? Be more Jewish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So yeah, the Jewish. This is the. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the Jewish parent subplot because it was utterly meaningless,
Completely pointless.
to the movie. But Pamela's parents, it's like Elliot Gould, and I can't remember the gal's name, who was actually in Delta Force playing another hysterical
really?
Jewish mother in
And also
Delta
my
Force.
big
Oh, really?
Greek wedding.
That
too.
also. It's like these are the two you have on speed dial when you need two Jewish parents
There
in
you
a
are.
movie. And so they come in and they do their whole thing, but it's utterly meaningless
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
For the plot of the movie.
Yes.
I mean, them as actors and actresses,
They're fine.
They were great. They
Yeah.
were fine. But was it necessary?
No.
No.
This
I hate this movie.
The whole thing with the movie is
And I hate you guys for making me
there
watch.
it's going to be a botched and a terrible job to do because the guy doesn't have any money. He can't pay the ransom, so you're about to kidnap this guy's college daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he can't even pay the ransom.
Yeah.
So we cut to they're on the side of the road acting like they're broken down, waiting for the limo to come by that they're going to hijack to go get this guy's daughter.
How did they know that the limo was going to stop?
Well, I'm assuming
It's called doing your due diligence.
that's right.
There was
yeah.
only one road into the college.
Oh, that's what
and
it
they
was.
were
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, he knew that they were that one limo
Right.
driver
Did
was
they
going to
say it
stop.
was
Right.
a college? Did it say college?
They did say one-time college. Originally, it was going to be a high schooler,
Yeah.
and they thought it would be too weird, so they changed it to a
Oh,
college.
thank gosh. Oh, my.
Finally.
I have a note for that later. Okay.
Perfect.
Hey guys, you think after everything we've written, we should probably make her of age?
Yeah, that's where we're going to draw the line.
That's where they
Yeah.
drew. Yeah.
We can still put her in that outfit, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're going to put her in an outfit.
Because we already bought them.
Yeah.
We bought it
So
already.
she'll look like she's in fourth grade,
Right.
but she's in college. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
She was
cool.
25 when she made the movie.
And what's her name? China Chow?
That's the actress name.
It's the actress's name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Who actually ended up in a 4-year relationship with Mark Wahlberg after making this movie, which was surprising to me.
Say hello to your mother for me.
I got to get it ready for next time. All right. So I wasn't on the right page.
That's okay.
So they wait on the side of the road. The limo driver, as that's happening, Cisco's trying to give Mark some life advice, or Melvin some life advice, saying, break up with your girlfriends. They're both terrible for you. You're trying to waste all this money on them.
Good advice.
Good advice.
Solid
movie.
But this is the
Solid
first,
advice.
It's the first time we hear Melvin speak his character's inner monologue of "I can't stand anybody not liking me," and even Cisco points out, "Well, the 100 people you've killed over the last few years, their family probably doesn't like you very much."
Yeah.
He's now going to have an existential crisis.
Yep.
The limo driver comes up. He's like, "Hey, do you guys need some help?" Boom. They shoot him. It's all super cash. Okay.
Done.
Super cash. They go pick up the daughter. Now Mark Wahlberg is dressed as a limo driver.
Yes.
And the daughter, Kiko, is there with her boyfriend, Lance? Is it a boyfriend?
It's like,
Yeah.
quotes, yeah.
Because she does say, "Are you still riding with me?" Right?
Yeah.
Like when they first
Maybe
sit down.
study partner?
I don't know. But Lance has got his suitcase full of a really important crystal, which
Does that ever get paid off?
never pays off
Especially
ever. They make a big deal
when
out
you're
of
in
it.
college. That's what you keep in your suitcase.
I carry around,
your
when
college
I was in college.
suitcase.
And very
crystal.
silverware from my grandma gave me.
He didn't finish saying meth.
3 generations. That's what it was. And so he loads up the girl.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I just thought of something. What if it was supposed to be meth? And the sound guy, it was like, instead of having like some sound of like a meth bag shaking around,
You know,
he's like, he
meth
actually thought it
sound.
was crystal. So he just made the sound effect of like plates hitting each other.
It's important. It's
Oh,
his
it's crystal in
Like
there.
a crystal chandelier.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
shaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a Swarovski duck or something in his. Suitcase.
Duck.
Duck.
So what's in the suitcase? Oh, it's crystal. It's ice.
That's right.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
yeah. Cling, cling, cling. Oh, you idiot! It's supposed to be meth, you moron. Just leave it in there.
Leave it, whatever.
Too
No,
late.
it's showing he was so out of touch.
Guys.
That's what he had.
It's a comedy.
Melvin loads up the girl and then tries to save Lance's life and tell him you should probably get a ride with somebody else.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
What a nice
But
guy.
He was warned.
He's just like, no, man. Why don't you just worry about driving the
He
car?
could have thrown him out of the car so easily, though. Just stopped
No.
it, grabbed it, thrown him, and kept moving.
What are you saying? He didn't have to shoot him in the face?
No.
You could have just D-punched him right there and left him on the side.
There was like no
That's
blood
what
on
Mummer
her.
Man would have done.
But they
Wouldn't blood be all over her outfit?
instead they you would think based on what happened in the backseat in Pulp Fiction when somebody got shot in the face. Right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just blood everywhere in that movie.
The wolf showed up.
But they're driving, so he does let he does let him in the back, okay? And my God, I don't know how to describe this.
The
scene.
most cringe scene.
the worst
in the movie.
the worst scene in the whole movie,
Yeah.
right?
Unnecessary.
What
But
happens in the back seat after they drive
The whole
away?
limo thing.
Yeah.
Nicole's
But
face
the
says
thing
it all.
is, I hate this.
I blocked it out.
Guys, I know this is supposed to be a lighthearted, show and everything, but I was kind of taken back. This is what really pushed me over the edge.
Yeah.
They did the scene, right? And they didn't quite shoot it in the music and the way
Yeah.
they shot it.
Well,
It
to give context, he's essentially they're making out, but it turns into an assault because
Yeah.
she starts to say no.
Yep.
and
She
he's
wants-
like, not.
Yeah, she says no, and he goes, oh, no is
No means
means
yes.
yes,
Which
right.
is
Yeah,
a literal
he says
line of
that.
dialogue that
literal
the
line
writer
of dialogue
wrote.
that he says. But instead of like changing up the scene, they just kept it,
Yeah.
and they almost seemed like they sexualized this attack
Right.
on film, and like, oh no, we'll just keep it, and it's funny.
In the way it's shot and everything.
Everything, the music,
Yeah.
everything, like, oh yeah, it's
And then
it's funny.
This guy that
Made
this
me sick.
sexually frustrated, stunted adult or 13-year-old or whoever it was that wrote this movie, it's literally, I could see him in his apartment right now sitting there going, okay, what should he say?
And then he had him say,
What should he say?
"Me love you long time."
Fucky, sucky, me love you long
There
time.
you go.
Yeah. That'll do
And
it.
then he stood up and he can high-five himself in the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, this is going to make me so much money.
God, I'm sorry, Mom. I'll keep it down, Mom.
Bring it
Enough now.
I'll bleep that, but
Shit.
just
I just
For effect.
sank in my seat.
Got
So
mad.
funny.
that was the worst thing that I've in one of the worst.
I hate
scenes
this movie.
in
That's
100
terrible. I hate this
episodes.
movie.
I mean, if they wanted you to hate him, it
Yeah.
was effective, but they didn't have to.
I hated him from
You-
the
just
day he
from
was
what he
picked
was
up. The moment he was picked up, I hated Lance.
Yeah.
Right.
Total douche.
Well, and
gets
it was like it was supposed to make Marky Mark more lovable. Like you're supposed to go,
guess, like
he's
he's
the
gonna be-
hero in this movie.
he
I mean,
rolls-
he kills people, but that's fine.
He rolls down the
he kills
partition.
a bad guy now.
Yeah, he rolls down the partition and shoots him in the face.
Yeah.
And she screams and she starts to freak out, try to get out. She can't get out. And this
He
is
just
where
rolls the window back up.
she realizes she's being kidnapped, right?
Yes.
So they pull her out of the car and
This is funny. This is a comedy, right?
we see Cisco
she's
is there.
being kidnapped now. This is awesome.
But he got shot in the face.
Yeah. After that sexual assault.
It is funny.
So the movie could have been shorter in a lot of ways. That could have been cut.
They could have been cut for sure.
I'm sorry.
It
No,
could have been a 30-second something.
No, it's fine. So they come out of this. They bring her out of the car, and Cisco is there.
Unlike this
and
movie, this show is a comedy.
Melvin is there, and Bokeem Woodbine's character is there with his sore hands and everything, and and then we get a new crew member called Gump. We are introduced to,
Yes.
which is like the quintessential '90s white thug.
Sure.
Right?
Which I believe he was directed to be. I think
Yes.
he
Oh, yeah.
probably,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm saying I bet he did probably what they said to do exactly.
100%.
And if you look at his IMDb, he's got a lot of work. by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm not. It's not that guy's fault.
I was just
I
ready
don't
to
like
say
the
that.
guy.
Yeah.
It seems
You like the
more
guy?
thoughtful.
Out of everybody in this movie, that was the guy you liked?
And his whole running bit is that he don't remember words.
Yeah.
I don't know what stuff is called.
Hey, keep it down.
That's my
over there.
that's my character trait. Seriously.
Seen, not heard.
All right. So anyway, this is actually one of the few comedy bits that I think worked in the movie. Is when they try to get her to record the ransom.
Okay. This was funny.
The audio.
yeah.
Timing was good.
The
Too.
timing was good. Basically, they wrote this note for her to read on tape
It's misspelled.
like crazy.
I think Gump wrote it.
This was the funny part of the movie. and that's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what some of them were.
They can watch it.
I can't.
Good call.
There was one that was really funny though that I was going to mention. All right, we'll move on.
Was that the Million Duelers?
It was Lorraine, but I can't remember what the word for
Yeah, I
that
don't
was
remember
supposed
either.
to be.
Yeah.
And then businesses at the end.
Businesses, yeah, it was businesses.
We
at the
mean
end.
businesses.
That's right. We mean businesses. That was it.
Nice.
Yeah, so they get her and they take her back to the hideout, which is essentially he's going to stash her where his side chick lives, Melvin's side chick.
Yep.
And then they go back to Gump's house, which looks exactly like you would think where Gump lives looks.
It was huge, right?
It was humongous, but
It
very
was like an airplane hangar.
yeah, exactly.
The one good song in the movie was playing there.
Yes.
Apache Jump on It.
Yes, and they call the Asian dad. What was his name? I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They call the girl's dad, and they're trying to play the tape. They don't have the tape cued to the right spot, so it's just a calamity
This
of
is Lou
errors.
Diamond Phillips.
Lou
trying to
Diamond
figure
Phillips
this
is trying
all
to
out.
figure this out. Literally at the same time, Dad's trying to commit seppuku.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing you can really mine for comedy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay, really,
He's
really
trying
well.
to kill himself.
Yeah. That's that weird math game, right? With the blocks.
That's right. No, that's Dooku.
No, that's
Oh.
not.
So
That's stupid.
they set up this joke that they try and pay off later where he's like, all right, man, we're going to call the dad and we're going to ask for the ransom money. And just in case he's got a tracer, we got to trace Buster.
Yeah.
And then if he traces us on our trace
gotta-
Buster, we got to trace Buster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
then
then
we
we
find
gotta-
out
yeah.
he has a trace Buster.
That's right.
He literally says that.
No,
He's
I
like,
know.
I got to trace Buster.
So what if I have a trace Buster? When you try to trace me, my trace Buster, then my chase Buster busts your trace Buster.
Yes. But if you have a trace Buster,
Yeah.
it busts that Buster trace.
That is traced. So
Yes.
it doesn't end up being traced. Instead of being traced, it's busted.
It's busted.
Because he had a trace Buster that busts his trace Buster.
Now we
cross-eyed.
need to hear busted. And then like, you know, you want it. You got it. You want it, baby. You got it.
Just trace the bust.
What
the
happens
way-
if you call somebody named Buster, though?
You never know it. Your head explodes.
Scrubs?
The character's name is Jiro Nishi.
Jiro. Oh, that's right, because it was on the poster. Jiro.
Yeah.
All right, Jiro.
And on the Trace Busters.
That's right. That's
It
right.
was his
It
company.
was a great show. Trace Busters.
So they set up the they get through to him and they're like, all right, we'll call you back with instructions later. Then they have the most cringy celebration after they hang up the phone with him. This is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like he plays the part like he's Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah,
instead of
I
Lou Diamond
totally
Phillips.
got it.
He's like, yeah, homeboy, in the house. We gonna get paid, son. And it's like,
Yeah.
it says Lou Diamond Phillips,
Yes.
not Samuel L. Jackson. And it was so cringy. And again, not his fault. He probably did it. Lou Diamond Phillips is a good actor.
Sure is.
Yep.
He probably did it exactly the way they told him to. And I saw the movie was written by a black guy.
Yeah.
And so he probably wrote this for a black guy. And they cast all white people in the movie. But they all don't talk. What was the studio doing?
Well, it was produced by Wesley Snipes and John Woo.
Right.
So that's probably why Wesley Snipes also added to his not having any money.
the whole time I'm like, why is he talking like
Why didn't they put Wesley Snipes
Or
in
some-
for
or
Lou Diamond
somebody-
Phillips?
Yeah,
because it just ends up making Lou look ridiculous.
Right.
absolutely. That's a good point.
And then even Paris, the guy that runs this little criminal organization, when he talks later, he talks like an Asian. Like I think that character was supposed to be Asian.
Yeah.
And because the other guy's his goddaughter, and he's like, there has been a great transgression in the house of Paris, and it has brought great shame on my dojo, and all this stuff. And I'm like,
Right.
what?
What is happening?
It was odd.
Who cast this movie?
The editor. I don't know.
I'm sure there's some viewers who are like, wow, he speaks Japanese. Cool twist. So there's some value, I suppose.
I guess, yeah.
I suppose. I'm not saying they can't.
That's
Yeah,
that's
what
why
are you saying? What are you saying?
That's why you're here, Nicole. You bring light to those little subjects like that.
Dojang was spelt like money.
All right, so
Moving on.
I'm sorry, it was so cringy. So we find out right after they're done celebrating that the Jiro calls Paris, the head of the criminal organization, and they're best friends.
Yeah.
Best
And so
buddies.
they're not supposed to be moonlighting behind Paris's back, but he calls them, "Hey, how's my goddaughter doing?" Like, "Oh, guess what? She just was kidnapped." And he's super pissed about it. So he's like,
Sent out a hunt team.
get the boys in. We're calling
Yep.
a meeting at Paris' house. And immediately, Cisco gets a call. Get your butt in here because something bad happened. So
Yep.
he's like, oh, crap. And now they have to have this bad guy meeting to be like, somebody kidnapped my goddaughter.
Yeah.
Someone has committed a transgression. in the
And all
house of
this
Paris.
point, Lou Diamond Phillips thinks he's like,
Well, yeah, because he said,
Busted.
yeah, he thinks he's done.
He's
he
sitting there.
said they're in this room.
He's wishing for a trace buster right now.
He's sweating bullets,
You
right?
want it.
This is the kind of movie. I'm surprised he wasn't literally sweating bullets. Okay, this movie I would not have been.
Would've made
surprised
more sense.
if they had started to do that.
Wedding bullets.
And the whole time, so Paris, you think like he already knows it's him, right? Because he walks over and he's like, "Tell me, what would you do if somebody did this in your house?"
And he says, "I'll bust a cap."
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, "Yo, homeboy, you know what's all love?"
And all of the other guys, the guys with no names who I guess are less good at killing, are all pretty much white guys, I think.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They cast all white guys in this movie.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is they wouldn't have appreciated his showmanship of being so
Yeah.
street.
So
No.
I don't know if you're going to cover this because I know you said you're going to skip over some of these
Some of
subplots.
it. I'm going to be really brief with some of it. Yeah, but go ahead.
But during this whole thing,
Brief, because our underwear models.
shut up.
There's one.
Yeah.
Isn't Mark Wahlberg trying to make dinner and trying to impress the family?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna get
all
to.
the time. Okay. All right.
Yeah, right now.
All right,
No,
'cause-
but I appreciate you
'cause
did
I
that.
can't. We cannot
No, we're not going to skip that.
go over that. Yeah.
So I'm just most of the scenes that they're in, I'm not going to really detail. But yeah, so let's get to the Jewish parents. So as we know, Pam's invited her parents in for the weekend. While all this is going on, Melvin had to stash the girl at his side chick's house.
Yep.
He's got to come back to his house and entertain his girlfriend's Jewish parents.
Yep.
And so this totally worthless subplot comes into play where they're coming over and he's like, "Go to temple. I'm going to make you this nice kosher meal while you guys are gone." Also, I should say, he keeps getting phone calls from the video store.
Oh my god.
And so we
Yeah.
don't talk about the video store guy.
makes me want to punch these people in the face. They went really hard on this guy. Not only his character, which was stupid,
Yeah.
but the camera work. Filming this guy, they had these like quick pans, slash,
Right.
boom, boom, boom. I'm like, it's a video guy.
It's a guy on a phone.
Yes.
Right.
I don't.
So should it have been done if there's a different director, if there was a different style of camera work, then it could have been funny.
Sure.
And he was giving it 176%, which in the
Right.
audition, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
But it could have had comedic value. So
Here's
I'm
how-
mad about how it turned out.
No.
Yes.
Here's how it works better, right? You do the video store subplot. You do it 3 times, which they did. That's funny, right? You tone the performance way down.
Just a
you
bit.
start off like kind of annoyed, and then you build. And by the 3rd time, he should be losing his crap
Right. 'Cause
Yep.
you're so sick of
because you're so sick of it. And then it's funny, like, look, this video store guy is going nuts, but he starts at 11.
Sure does.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go.
Right.
Nowhere to go.
No.
So yeah, it could have been a funny bit. You're
I
right.
don't know what that's like.
But it's just he left no room for. He just calls me and he's like, "Well, guess what? You still have our copy of King Kong Lives, and this little girl." Crying to herself, "I want to rent this movie." Well, you can't because Melvin still it's
Because Mark Wahlberg has it.
that's right. It's just
It's bad.
Yeah.
It is really bad. And then the whole
He got his picture up on the wall.
But then
yeah, it's true. But then the whole side chick plot kind of comes into play.
right now she
Because of this video store as well. They connect all these really fine loose ends into some weird subplot of getting the movie back to the actual movie store. So
Right.
she just the side chick decides to call it off.
she's the one that has the video.
She has the video, yep. And she's going to take the video and the money
Right.
and call it off and go off with her little side chick. So
It's accurate.
So all right, so we're going to dump off all the stuff. So here's the bag of of body parts that doesn't smell at all. And here's just this tied up kidnapped girl we're just going to leave on your front doorstep.
He rolls up at Melvin's fiance's house.
And
goes, here's the
like
girl.
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Here's the body.
While
Those are
he's
some
trying to cook a
lightweight
meal.
bags.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
See you later.
And leaves the body and the girl on the doorstep.
Yeah.
While the Jewish parents are there.
Yep.
And his fiance.
And then hilarity ensues.
Oh, just
the Scooby-Doo tactic of
Going through the bathroom.
doors and running around and, hey, what's going on here,
It
guys?
could have been funny, like really funny.
Yeah.
It's like a Benny Hill episode.
And it was absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Right. So he pulls her in the house, and at the same time she's coming around the corner and hides her in this door right before his girlfriend comes around. And she gets to the bags like, oh, there's a deer meat in there. And then he puts her in the trunk, but she gets out of the trunk and sneaks her back through the bathroom.
And then
If he
dog
had
comes by
put
and
on
he's
a
like-
radio, would have made much more sense because you would have heard
Yes.
the girl like she had a gag on, but you make sounds. And
she's
like
just
around the
hopping
corner.
around a foot away in some cases
Yeah.
from Christina Applegate, who ends up looking like a moron when they don't realize.
But again, she just came off Marrying with Children.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, I guess she'll play that kind of character. I'm not saying whatever.
No, but you're right though.
Typecast.
Yeah, she was definitely typecast
From
at the time.
previous work.
It's like all of a sudden we're in a British farce. This movie again, just further proof it doesn't know what it wants to be.
No.
We go back and
Finally, the parents and the daughter leaves for this trip. He gets everything under control, gets everybody set. Now he's like, I'm going to make this kosher meal. And all of a sudden, here comes this weird relationship now between this kidnapped girl and her kidnapper, now having this sexual tension over a turkey.
well, the first thing that before that even happens, he helps her pee.
Oh my god!
We can't skip over that scene. Joe has left.
This movie is shit. This movie makes me sick.
She's like, I need help with my underwear, silly.
Why are they sexualizing this horrible crap?
Dude, it's terrible. It's so juvenile.
I think at this point I was like, what is going on with this movie?
Yeah.
I just don't know where it's going. I'm like, I had to pause it and my wife's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know where any of this is going to make any sense.
Deep hurting.
I just want it to make some sense.
What about the crystal in the suitcase?
Where did that go? What
he
about the
wants to
body
know.
parts? We never find out what happened with those. Anyway, go ahead.
It's not uncomfortable. It's not an uncomfortable scene.
Yes, it is.
So I wrote down Keiko didn't even get to wash her hands after she went to the bathroom. And next scene, she's mixing with her hands.
Yep.
That bothered me.
Yeah. Oh my. You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't even get. I was too caught up with everything else. You're right. She never washed her hands.
No, she didn't.
Probably a poo-poo platter.
So they.
No, she's massaging.
It cuts away from this before the cooking scene to go to Gump is at the hideout, okay, and he's about to call Jiro to say where to make the drop, okay.
I love Euros.
Lou Diamond Phillips is now with Jiro. It's a gyro, man. Those are gyros.
Oh.
This is Jiro.
Sorry.
Lou Diamond Phillips is with Paris and Jiro, the Asian dad, pretending like he's not part of the whole plot. And he's holding like, don't call. But when Gump calls and he's a moron, he stays on long enough to get traced.
Yeah.
Because this guy's got to trace Buster.
Buster.
They now go to Gump's house. Lou Diamond Phillips jumps on him before he can say anything, starts punching him. And go like, tell me who the mastermind behind this is. Boom. Say Melvin. I want to know. Tell
And
me
the
who it
guys
is.
are all standing like 3 feet away from him.
Yeah.
Did he just say Melvin?
No.
So then Gump goes, Melvin?
Oh, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, what
it was Melvin.
What if he just pinned it on Gump? It would have been done.
Over and done with.
Again.
Mastermind, we did it.
I can't believe you did this. Boom. Maybe the only thing I can think of is he didn't want anyone else that knew it was him
Yeah.
to be alive.
And I guess he really hates Melvin for no reason.
That never
Oh,
established.
maybe he's an underwear model or something.
Because something about he never
Well,
actually, no,
Melvin
they
still
never
has
give
the
a
girl.
compelling reason.
I think that's why. Melvin still has
It's
the girl.
ridiculous. So once he says Melvin, Cisco turns around and gives this like community theater level acting performance to his faceless goons. They have faces, nameless goons.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Melvin was my friend.
I can't believe it. I was going to give him my boat.
That's right. But then it goes super dark. because he jumps on Gump and stabs him right in his sternum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
like this,
got him
like-
on the island. in the
Didn't
kitchen.
have to do it. Didn't have to do it.
He's like, you've always wanted to do something for me, man. Well, how you can do this for me? You can die for me. Shh.
Yeah, just die.
Just go to sleep.
Yeah.
It was so dark, you
Yeah.
guys.
Put him
Earn it.
to sleep.
Put him to sleep.
That's right. It was awful.
Well, and not to mention, he's also what do you call a knife guy? A knifist?
Yeah.
He's got these cool knives with like holes in them that he
twirls
can
them around.
spin on his fingers. And
A
you know,
knifist.
a bladist? What do you call a guy who's really good with knives?
A knifeologist?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's really
Sure.
important that we got that right.
A swordsman?
I'm a bladesman.
A bladesman?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a knifist. And so we end up, he's got these cool like rings and he just spins them on his fingers.
He does.
Yeah.
They're very cool. I actually thought that was kind of cool.
And he kind of did the move right before he
Right
stabbed
before
Gump.
he killed his friend.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't care. He wants to look like the hero and rescue the daughter.
There is but you're right. Now we're back to the house, and there is some. I don't know if there's a relationship developing all of a sudden between.
Stockholm syndrome.
Is that what it is?
I mean, that's when you.
Oh,
fall in
it's
love with your
hilarious,
captain.
though. It's true. It's Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He's like, "What's it like going to the bathroom handcuffed, huh? What's that all about?
How was your toilet?
I'm gonna come in here and make a turkey. You want to do that with me, okay? Come on, say hi to your mother for me, okay?
So I have a theory.
Yes.
Are we getting?
It's a chicken, though. I think it's a chicken, but yeah.
Fine. Yes.
It's important.
So it's
not.
it's kind of off-putting, but I think this is what
They didn't
were
have any
trying to
pudding.
do. So when they're doing the turkey way too long, their hands are on it, whatever, and then they kind of drop it, and then there's like a spill, and then there's like a weird like sort of brown sauce that we hadn't seen before
Yeah.
that's right on her leg.
Yeah.
It
Her
is my
upper thigh.
It's my theory that they were too worried that people were feeling guilty about like getting all hot about like a high schoolish kind of thing.
Mm.
So if there was like a reddish kind of liquid on her leg, then it proves that she's a woman and it's okay to feel those feelings about her. Gross. But that's what I think. I really think that's what they did it for.
What the?
This is
It's gross.
What the fuck?
I bet some guy was like, you can't do that, man.
No.
They're going to feel bad about themselves for getting too hot about it. Oh, what if you prove she's a woman?
I
and
thought
it's
it was
fine
soy sauce.
for the kosher meal.
two of them before she's like, you got to get your hands dirty, and they put their hands in
did
the
like
stuff,
some ghost shit,
and they like I don't know, like they sexually assault this chicken carcass with their hands. They like finger rape this thing. I'm serious. Right? Am I wrong?
They just kept putting the stuffing on it.
sorry about the F drop. I apologize.
I was very sweet and sour about the scene.
Whatever. All I'm saying is, whatever happened to that chicken was not consensual.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Hey, chicken, how you doing?
say hi to your mom for me.
So funny. Somehow, like like an SNL version could be funny.
Yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't.
The music
was
picks up,
sick.
and they're fondling this chicken, and their fingers are all intertwined, and it was weird.
Yeah.
It was not supposed to be sexual, but they made it sexual.
Then right after what you said, it makes
What do you
it
think
so
about
much
that?
worse.
What do you
It
think?
really does
probably
make it so
right.
much worse.
Okay.
But it's 10
I hate to
times
say it,
worse
but
now.
I think you're right. I think there's some weird subconscious thing that they were doing to try to make it okay. That is just sick.
Well, and then they start passionately making out.
Well, and
it's
Nicole-
like a whole it was like Ghost with the clay. It was just they're like molding this chicken
I just
together
wanted them
and
to
just
put the
she
stuff
was
on their
real.
face before they made out and everything.
It's raw chicken.
is that salmonella I taste? Fantastic.
They all got salmonella after this.
And Nicole, when you spill on a girl's leg, you have to place her on the counter
And
to,
wipe upwards.
to have
Yes.
easy
Yes.
access to getting rid of the
Yeah,
stuff.
it's really nice.
It's very thoughtful.
I appreciated that.
10 minutes after making out with her, he wanted more.
And you know how he's making the kosher meal? His name is Melvin Smiley. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that Jewish parents like that name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if she hadn't said anything, they just would have assumed
Right.
that was what happened.
He's
For sure.
Goyim.
They-
You need to stop.
Why? I just.
Your side jokes.
We'll be right back. They need to collect themselves.
I should say, as they start talking about these chickens that mate with each other.
Yes.
As he's going in for a kiss, and that when you bang the table, it picks up.
Sorry.
He goes in to kiss her. They're talking about how these two chickens mated, and he goes, "It's just so sad." that something in the prime of its life had to be killed, or whatever. And she grabs the
Meat
mallet,
tenderizer, yeah.
smacks him in the head, and you think, okay, so was this all a ruse? Or was she
Like really into it,
like
right.
acting to get him like his guard down, and then she sieged for a moment? Or was that comment about something being snuffed out in the prime of its life what caused her to run away? I mean, what do you think?
I honestly didn't know why he said that.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out, like, was he talking, did he kill someone he shouldn't have killed? Was he
Right.
going to kill her? But I could tell they were both, Stockholming it up.
I think it was all a ruse. I think she put the soy sauce on herself.
Okay, got it. That was soy sauce. That's what that was.
Very kosher.
So he ends up knocking her back out and putting her back in the trunk, tied up again. He's like,
Yeah, nothing weird about that. But then he
Yeah, a glass trunk. A glass trunk.
right.
I'm really sorry about this,
Firebird.
okay?
Yeah.
If you want to find another chicken, we can do it later, okay?
Yeah. Say hi to your mother for me.
There was a sale.
I'm gonna
So
touch
when
your-
the
I'm gonna
parents
touch your
and her
face,
get
though.
home, they don't even see her in the garage
She's
through the
in
glass trunk.
glass trunk. You're right. I missed that. I'm sorry. She's just sitting in there.
I better be quiet.
That's right.
I don't want to be found.
So at that point, his Bokeem Woodbine's character calls him from the airport and says, "Man, I just found out they're coming for you, man. You got to get out of Dodge. I'm here at the airport trying to get away." And they cut back to Mark Wahlberg, who's like, "Oh my gosh, man! All right, thanks for telling me." And it cuts back to him, and he's got this gigantic freaking grip strengthener that's
Yeah. Just a big
What is he
metal
doing to
circle.
himself?
one of two legitimate laughs I had in the entire movie. It was funny. It was so unexpectedly humongous. And they drop off the freaking lotion. It's not the kind he wanted.
Yeah, and then he like tucks the phone under. Hey man, I said I want the one with no aloe. Or
That's right.
whatever.
Lanolin.
Lanolin,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. And so he's like, okay, he starts to load. He goes into his garage and starts loading up. He's got like all these blades and guns inside of this,
Which is a huge trope. We
hidden
always,
thing. Oh, yeah.
the hitman always has gun wall.
100%.
There you go.
And so he tries to get away. He loads up, tries to get away, but then he hears that the hitmen are in the house talking to the Jewish parents, having dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's like, crap, I got to go inside. And so he goes in and joins them at the dinner table, essentially.
The good news is the hitmen had ethics and didn't just kill everyone.
No, they were very
Nice
nice
guys.
about
Yeah.
it. They're
They're
talking
really nice
about
guys.
how,
Yeah.
Melvin's this really great guy. We work with him and, we sell computers. And she's like, I thought he worked with the homeless. He's like, yeah, you'd be surprised how many homeless people buy computers.
Which is funny on paper.
Right.
And Lou Diamond
Hilarious.
Phillips really went for it.
He did.
Meanwhile, they're all doing the Star Wars Han Solo gun under the table bit.
Yes,
Yep.
they don't realize there's a Mexican standoff happening, like underneath the table. They've all got their guns drawn and pointed at each other. Elliot Gould goes on this rant about his family and how crappy his wife and daughter are, and how
That's why he shouldn't drink. 'Cause
Right.
That's what that joke's payoff.
Yeah.
whole
If he
thing.
drinks, he turns into a
nightmare.
a nightmare,
a
and
complete jerk.
it was a 20 minutes taken out of the movie to set up him puking on Lou Diamond Phillips,
Yeah.
which ultimately doesn't help.
No, it just kind of distracts him and allows.
Pukes
Right.
again with the pillow block.
Yeah,
But
that
you
was
could just
kind
see them
of
being like,
interesting.
Pushes
"This
it
is
up
gonna be
against the
so
rails.
funny."
It's right.
Oh my God, seriously.
But
frankly,
wait till they
he's gonna
pull back
puke
the
on him.
table.
I think
and
we
it's
needed
glass.
somebody to like. We didn't have it. And so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, good. Elliot Gould will be that guy. And then it turns out just to be jerk
Yeah.
face.
Yeah,
So
it'll
I
be
got a
hilarious,
question though.
guys. Though.
Because as he's drunkenly falls away, he pulls the tablecloth off, and it's a glass table, so you see all their guns drawn on each other, right?
Yeah.
And at that same point, more contract killers pull up in front of the house. These are contract hitmen. Why on
Yes, I
God's earth are they driving these crappy Dodge Stratuses?
No, they were
And
minivans.
Chrysler vans.
That's what it was,
Yeah.
minivans.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
Dodge minivans.
like old crappy ones.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
All the money goes
like,
to guns. so-
technically, this is 1998, so that they're modern back then.
Those
Those look like they're about 86.
That's
man.
what I'm saying. They look old even then.
Maybe, okay.
Those were like first generation.
They should have gotten some Astro vans.
There's a rusted
Windstar.
wheel well
That's
in
right.
one of them.
Ford Windstar, yeah.
Yes,
Like you're driving a space shuttle.
it looked good though.
They take
But yeah.
off, and there's this car chase.
They ran out of budget.
And there's literally, just like in The Last Stand, every opening that this car has a dude out of it with a gun shooting after Mark Wahlberg's car.
The
They're
wind
taking
drag alone would
what we
kill the gas
learned-
mileage.
And what we learned,
off. Just dudes, one out of the sky or what's the thing called
the hatch,
am.
the
sunroof.
the sunroof,
The moonroof.
Every window's got a guy. There's a guy coming out of the hood.
The
There's one
hatch is open in the back. There's like
person
9 guys hanging out each
underneath the car.
side. There's a guy popping out of the hood. I got him.
It just it
Cigarette
looks
lighter.
like the petals of a flower as this van is driving down the street. Okay,
The wind resistance.
I know, that's why I said the drag would have been
And they
absolutely
do-
horrible.
for like the 4th movie in a row, they do the backwards driving bit. Like he turns backwards, shoots,
No one does that.
rips it back into forward. Did it in Cobra. They
Yeah.
did it in Bomberman, but there was another one recently. That they,
Last
The Last
Stand.
Stand.
The Last
Yes,
Stand.
Last
did it
Stand.
too.
So this is why this movie seems familiar. Is because there again so many tropes.
Yes.
They ripped off so many other scenes from so many other movies.
Sure.
Yes.
It looks like every other a conglomeration of every other stupid movie that was ever made in the 90s.
Well, if there's anything we learned from Condor Man, other than my lack of puns, was the fact that if you want to get away, you need to get yourself a bright banana yellow car to get away in, because no one is going to see you in that.
Yeah. What other movie had that? Was it one of these?
Condor Man had one.
Condor
Oh
Man.
no, it was Mr. No Leg.
Mr. No
They got
Leg
had
the
the big bright
orange Camaro.
Yeah.
I forgot about that for the orange Camaro.
That's a trope.
Yeah, so the here's where I really sealed the deal for me on hacky writing. Okay, talking about there's a muddled tone to this movie, which is indicative of somebody that's doesn't really know what they're doing from a screenwriting standpoint, right? But this was really hacky. He decided he needed everybody to be on the same road to kind of collide at the same time. There's Paris and Jiro in one car. There's the side chick and her boyfriend in another car.
Yep.
And there's obviously Cisco chasing in the van after Melvin, right? And they all kind of come together. Now, the side chick and her boyfriend should have been long gone because a long time ago she dropped that stuff off and said, I'm out of here.
Yes.
But because he needed them to be here, he had to include this hack dialogue of, well, you told me this would shave off 4 hours and now we're right back where we started from.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Just have them leave later.
Just have him leave. Right. It's just like, dude,
Or just stop at Burger King or something.
something. Be like, oh, this is thanks for lunch. It's just
Yeah, let's go finish unloading the house.
I think
So
they
since
really
we're
wanted her
heading out of town.
to try to yell at men as often as they could to like
Right.
solidify that's who her character is.
that's all she is.
That's exactly right. I wrote down there's no redeeming qualities of the mistress.
No.
So no one's like,
redeeming
oh, but she's back.
qualities of anybody.
None at
in this
all.
movie.
The whole reason for her to be there. Oh, did you have one?
No, just no.
The whole reason for her to be
No redeeming qualities are some.
yeah, that's true.
Prove it.
In this scene, the only reason she's there is so that Mark Wahlberg can get the tape from her.
Yep.
That Cisco can get her car from her.
Yep.
And then Paris can get the information from her as to where they went.
And you can show also how he gets stepped on.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and he gets his money back.
Right. So
To
he
redeem that quality
They all
back.
crash. He gets his money and the tape. You were going to keep this King Kong Lives tape. He walks away. Now he's got what he needs from her. Then Cisco walks up because his van got blown up. Give me your car. Now that character got what he needed from the side chick.
Mm-hmm.
Then Paris and Jiro walk up. Do you know where they went? And she tells them. And so her only reason that this hack writer had to have him in the scene is to give each of the other 3 groups what they needed to continue on with the movie.
Well, they didn't want to do a trope where it was like a TV or a newspaper. Yeah.
The radio.
She's your vehicle, baby.
I think it was a great
Give me
character arc
everything you want to know.
because all she did was take.
Yeah.
Now she's in a position to give. That is why.
That's great writing.
Yeah, that's great writing.
Yeah.
I don't know about
is it,
you.
Joe's like, or hear me out. Is it genius? All right, let's get to the end. We're practically
Just
there.
really quick, when you get to the car with Jiro in it, he says, "Call AAA. Mine expired."
He's great. Almost everything he says is great. I really liked him in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah. So essentially now Melvin and Kiko, who has crawled out of the trunk and now wants to be his girlfriend, they pull up in front of the video store because he's going to return this
Most
tape.
bulletproof Firebird
Okay.
ever, too, by the
And-
way.
With the
Yeah.
best airbags
The airbags.
Yeah.
that you don't see.
So he's like, all right, look, I'm going to go and I'm going to return this tape. If I come back and you're still here, then we'll disappear together forever, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, it makes me think that wasn't a ruse before because now she wants to be with him.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's happened since is she got stuck in the trunk.
Yeah,
That's
that was it.
Well, she's
And-
comfy there now.
Yeah,
She loves
She
it.
had a real moment where she just was like, oh, all these bullets just whizzing past my head. I think I love this guy.
That's right. That's right.
I want to be with him.
She
Totally gonna last.
He
They
can
have
protect me.
the grossest makeout session in the front seat.
You could hear the
God.
kissing.
You could anytime you could hear it.
I could taste
like,
it.
too much. As they're making out, and
They're 13-year-old
not even
sound
making out,
editor
okay?
just added the sound levels.
level it up more.
They just used the audio from when they were marinating the chicken.
Right.
The coffee.
That's exactly
Just the
what it was.
coffee sound.
And then the boop, and then that
This is the
spliced in.
definition of sucking face. This is what this is. Okay, that's what they were doing, literally.
Yeah,
Okay,
sucking face.
As they're sucking face, you see Cisco coming up at like 40 miles an hour behind them, and he nails their car. And apparently, they fly
They're fine. Yeah.
2 miles away.
Yeah.
To the
because
cliff.
Wile E. Coyote goes by.
They land in a branch outcropping from the side of a cliff face.
Yeah.
Like Baby Huey's Easter
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right there, they get out, and there's a basket of Easter eggs hanging on the branch.
This branch just caught their Trans Am
Yeah.
from flying off a cliff. And where's the road? Because Cisco has to drive another half mile to get to them.
Yeah.
So he literally rammed them a half of a
It
mile.
goes right back to the beginning of the movie. You don't know where anything's at. They're running down a hill, but they're on a cliff.
The forest
But then
is
they
right
go
there.
through the forest. Then somehow they circle back to the movie place. Like, what?
It doesn't
How
make
is
any
that
sense.
possible?
Again, editor.
And the fact
Absolutely.
that
13 years old.
his entire tongue was in her mouth when they got rear-ended, that
did
would
they
have been
not-
bit off.
Yeah.
They should the next scene with the both of them, they should have just bloody mouths
That's what I'm
with their
saying.
teeth like spitting out teeth and everything like
It was
that.
almost the Dumb and Dumber kiss. You know what I mean? When Lloyd Christmas is like swallowing Laura
Yeah.
for her face, right?
Like over her nose.
And then just 40 mile an hour bang to the rear end. It would have just been
7 movies
It
at
should have
once.
all been jacked up, all of it. But they get caught by this branch. They crawl out, fine, like no problem.
Yeah,
They're done
no
with it.
problem.
They leave the briefcase of money in the car.
They do. He's like, I just want the King Kong Lives tape. That's all he takes with him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this Buick is driving through the woods, knocking down trees.
Yes.
It's a great car.
Okay, this car is
Very
Yeah,
impressive.
like trees, not saplings, either, like legitimate
Sorry,
trees.
Jaguar, whatever. Okay,
Whatever.
still, but you can see it when you watch that the trees are pre-cut,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
clear as day, right
Right.
before it starts to hit them. Okay,
There's a lumber crew right by. Going, oh, jeez, come on, man. I'm working here.
That car shouldn't have been able to make 119.
No, it would have gotten
Chase.
stopped by the first tree it hit.
Man,
Right. To hit the stump.
darn you, Marky
What is this,
Mark.
What was it, a
Broke a hole in it.
Jaguar? The transmission on that thing should have blown like 4 miles back before he even got to the forest.
It's okay.
So then I wrote during the forest scene, go back up the hill, Marky Mark. That car can't come get you now.
but what happens? So then he runs up the hill, and then the thing, like the car is chasing him, and it does a flip end over end.
And when a car's tumbling at you, you go straight down the hill.
Keep going straight.
Straight.
Yeah.
That's like not when like an alligator's chasing you. And then when it actually crashes, they're under the car that was on the branch.
Yes.
How did they get there?
I don't know.
Because geography.
That's what I'm saying. The whole
show-
thing, like, how
They
does
show
that
him
happen?
running uphill.
Well, and they're going downhill. So at what point did they get underneath the cliff?
Again,
Yeah.
guys, the editor was blind.
It's literally a blind guy.
He was literally just editing by sound, right?
Mostly make out
Coffee
sounds.
sound,
That's all
okay.
he was doing. And he's like, this sounds about right. And not realizing that characters were running uphill, cars were going downhill, but yet they still were in danger.
The braille he was reading said east and west, and he got it mixed up.
And the movie store was just right across the street. You know, just,
yeah.
Up the hill before the cliff.
Marky Mark is able to. So the car then falls off of the branch onto Cisco's car. You think Cisco's dead.
Nope.
Marky Mark grabs the tape before he gets, instead of,
thank God.
he had that moment where he's like, am I going to grab the tape or let this car run me over? He's
Yeah.
like, no, I got to return the tape. Grabs the tape.
Which was funny.
Can I
Yeah.
say, it's amazing how much energy he has put towards this tape.
Right.
Right.
More than his relationships.
Thank you. More than the relationship with the woman that he's supposed to have a relationship with. Normally, in a normal movie, normal like action movie, when a person, a hero is gonna save the day, he's rescuing the damsel in distress. He's rescuing the woman. He has those like, I gotta reach in and save the woman. They completely said, screw it.
He's already got her.
We already
Right.
got her.
We
She's
need the
kidnapped.
movie.
Let's just replace that with this movie. This VHS tape
Of King Kong Lives.
because people are gonna relate to that
Because there's a little-
lot more than anything else.
There's a little girl somewhere that wants to watch this movie.
That's right.
It's about that little girl.
He walks this tape
That's
back
why
after
this movie was made.
this is over. He walks the tape back,
my God.
back
Up the
into
hill.
the
Up
back
the
of the
hill.
into
Up,
the
climbs the
video
cliff.
store.
Up down the hill.
Up down the hill.
Goes into the video store and he's like,
Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. You guys know me.
My picture's up on the wall.
He goes, how's your mom?
Smiley.
"Hey, I want to return this videotape, okay?"
Yeah.
And
You're a dog.
you work at a video store. What's that all about, huh? I was in Max Payne. Did you see that movie?
I had a big wiener.
The video guy is, he looks in, there's like most wanted thing on the
Yeah.
wall, right?
There's
It's
like
number
10 or
2
12 people there.
for video truancy. And Mark grabs him by the shirt. And he's like, I'm taking a lot of crap from you, man.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the guy's like, "Oh, never mind. It's fine. My bad."
It's all good. I just swell up on him like that.
I do like the whole late fees. Oh, what is this? It's not rewound?
That's going to cost you.
That's gonna cost you. It's like, come
That's when
It's
he
like a
grabs him.
Batman villain from Adam West.
But like in a sketch show, like that could be really
that is
hilarious.
the worst
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Batman villain ever.
But that's not,
Yes.
the problem is this
not.
isn't sketch
the
comedy.
anti-rewind
No, sir.
guy.
You're absolutely right.
that's my superpower.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Cisco is alive and he busts into the video store.
Good thing they gave us a rewind so you could see what really happened.
Yeah.
No other time in the film did they do that.
No one would have cared. We all just would have assumed he survived. We didn't need to go back and see how, right? Oh, he dove into the water. If
that
they
makes more
hadn't told
sense.
me, I would have been like, this whole movie is,
That's it.
that's it.
And the 5-foot flame that shot out just above the water.
Now I don't
Yeah.
believe it. Whew. He comes in, they have this huge fight in the video store. It looked like that was fun. Knocking over a cassette.
I think they
thing.
thought this line was going to be a big line. Let's work.
Let's work.
Before they fought each other, I think they thought that was going to be real big.
That's right. Again, this
It was
guy.
going to be a big hit.
They thought
how many crumpled? Go ahead.
They thought that was going to be a joke, and they also thought the picture on the wall, employee,
Yeah.
customer of
Customer of
the
the-
year.
Let's
in the
talk
adult
about that.
section.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
In the adult
adult
section?
They
section.
go
adult
upstairs.
section.
They're having their knife fight or whatever, and they get to the upstairs, and there's in the way that like a movie has or a movie theater has a poster where there's light bulbs all around it,
Yeah.
lit up like a coming attractions poster. But it's just
Coming attractions.
It's just Bokeem Woodbine's character with 2 thumbs up, like their friend
Huge forearms.
said, "Customer of the month, #1 for adult video rentals."
Yes.
Yes.
And they both stop fighting just to look and
just
go,
look.
"Eh."
How does that? I wonder what. Yes, sir. We want to put your picture up on the wall because you've rented the most porns. Are you cool with that? Yeah, I'll come down right now. We can take a picture and everything.
Are my hands going to be in the photo?
I think it's true to his character. He'd be like, "Heck yeah, I'll be right over."
Just
make
a
sure my-
bottle of Jergens.
Just so we can know.
Some tissue paper.
Just we know who has rented the most porn. Okay, sure. And this with this.
Do you think it was the guy that was like, you didn't rewind the movies? You think he was like just at 11? Hey, I just want to let you know we're going to put you on the adult. You mind if I put your pictures up on the wall?
We want to do a sock promotion with you.
Right. They stab. All right, so hold on. They fight
Washcloths.
throughout this entire video store. They end up on the chandelier. There's a giant like chandelier thing display.
Well, yeah,
at the very top of the.
This movie store is 2 stories.
Yeah.
It has like an outer ledge around with videos on it.
Right, and then there even.
But
the chandelier
apparently no
itself has got a
stairs
thing.
to get up there.
No,
Movie
and it's a
rental
bunch of,
places were a hot ticket.
and it's
back
a
in
bunch
the
of
day.
trauma posters around, like Toxic Avenger and
Yes.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. And they're on top of the chandelier when finally Marky Mark is able to stab
Lou Diamond
Phillips in the. You got stabbed in the chest. What's that
Yeah.
like, man?
What are you going to do with your boat?
He's literally
When you die,
stabbed
you
just
say hi
like
to your
Gump
mother
was.
for you. For me. Say hi to my mother for me when you die.
My mom's dead, right?
Yeah.
So
That's what I was trying to go with that joke. Was it good?
it was good.
Thank you.
So he's dying, and all of a sudden, Lou Diamond's like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to sail my boat, man, and I wanted to just, have a good time, live the easy life, man, with some dolphins swim by us, maybe kill a few of them."
Yet it's not true. He was trying to get rid of his boat the whole movie.
You're there, man. You're there.
That's right.
Leans in.
Ultimately, he leans in.
They kiss him.
He tries to have a moment with him, and then Lou Diamond Phillips grabs the liquid explosive thing we saw in the first scene.
Which somehow was in his pocket.
Somewhere. It was on his body
It was
somewhere
this
the entire
huge-
time.
Yeah, his
to
like
his
belt or
chest.
something.
Sticking out of this like cummerbund thing that he was
Because
wearing.
when you make out with someone in a car, you're ready for that,
He got to be.
right?
So now he's got mere seconds, like 13 seconds to get out of the
You know where
building.
that was his grenade pouch.
Is that what it was?
Because he had that and 12 other grenades all
he did have a lot of grenades.
Yeah, he had a lot of grenades in this fanny pack.
He runs out in
like a
time
sports pocket.
before the bomb goes off. He's now left Cisco in there. He runs out and he sees his girl across the street. But then here's Paris and the girl's dad, and Paris has a gun drawn on him. And he looks at his girlfriend, and he's like, "Well, I don't know." And he just runs back into the
That's it.
exploding
Yep.
building.
That'll be better.
Because they were going to shoot him.
All she had to do is turn to her dad and go, "He didn't kidnap me. It was the other guy."
I mean, it kept me in a car for a while.
And right,
Tomato,
but I mean, if she wants to save his
tomato.
life,
Right.
Hey, we
Exactly.
stuck our
Right.
hands in a chicken. He's
Yeah.
cool.
oh, that's all she has
Soy
to do.
sauce going
Right.
on.
But instead, he runs in, the building explodes, and you think he's dead. You wish he's dead, some of us. But he's not. The giant movie display from Giro's.
Made of solid gold.
Made of
Yeah,
solid
the
gold.
Taste the Golden Spray.
That wouldn't crush you for sure.
No, 'cause
No,
gold is,
not to not to
famously sturdy and
Exactly.
It's
And,
bulletproof.
It's very
but light.
lightweight.
and the melting point of gold is not that high. So I'm sure the burning building would have melted the gold.
Right onto you.
And
it would have been a Game of Thrones.
Get whole
situation.
Game of
Did you
Thrones,
see when
yeah.
Keiko was outside and she protected herself, her arm position was to protect the top of her head and her belt. That's right.
She's like, no,
Like, we can't see your face.
no, not this.
Great
Good call on that.
camera work.
It cuts to her. You think she's sobbing, but it's actually the video store guy on the ground sobbing,
Funny,
being hysterical.
theoretically.
And that's it. It cuts. Now she's back at college. She's like, can't believe they're making a movie out of your kidnapping, and
Oh no.
there's a movie deal, and my
hilarious.
dad's finalizing it and all that stuff. And cool. The limo picks him up,
Cool.
and it's Antonio Sabato Jr. And I'm like, oh yeah, he was in this movie.
I forgot about that guy.
That guy.
Got to get our money's worth.
Hey, thanks for doing me a favor.
And
How's your mother?
door opens, and it's
I'm Mark Wahlberg. You guys know me.
and there he is.
Maybe that's why Mark was doing the favor for him in the bathtub because he was going away for the weekend.
Oh, is that what it was?
Maybe.
Okay, could be. And so Mark is there. He hops into the limo, except he's way nicer than the last guy, and they have a consensual
Yeah.
encounter
Thank
in
goodness
the back
for
of
that.
the limo.
Oh, thank goodness.
He
And,
probably at some point said, sorry for backing up Lou Diamond Phillips for taking your money
Yeah.
at the party with her.
Right.
boss.
And guys, that was the end of the movie.
Good thing they reprised that terrible song, I'm the Man, at the end.
Oh my
That's what she says to him. You're the man.
And sleep.
Put you to
You guys want to give this movie some awards?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
do it.
that's
Let's
what
do
we're
it.
here for.
We're gonna
We're
start.
obligated.
We do. We're contractually obligated. We're gonna start as we always do.
We're going to give this movie the rewards just like we gave Mummer Man the reward.
That's right. With the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Woo! Yeah, it's time for the Will Patton Award. Woo! The most intense actor that's ever worked, and every role he comes to, regardless of what he's doing, he's bringing 110% intensity. The man is a legend, and so we give this award out in his honor. Who was that actor, you guys, that treated this movie with the amount of seriousness and intensity of a car accident, even though it was a ridiculous
Car accident?
car accident of a movie, right? Who are your nominees? Joe, who you got for Will Patton?
This is hard. This is hard. I'm torn between a couple different characters. The the movie employee.
Oh, the video store guy.
That guy went hard.
He did.
For sure.
He went hard.
He did. He laced him up.
And then obviously Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah.
I think he went hard.
So are these just going to be your top 3?
For
He's
the
working
seventh
it out.
position.
He's working it out.
Just give me. But I do have
that
to say,
English?
the guy went really. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go with Lou Diamond Phillips because I'm
Okay.
going to save this other guy for my top picks.
All right, fair enough.
We're going to go Lou Diamond Phillips, but a close second is the video
Store
kid.
guy. All right.
Close second.
Mummer, who you got, man?
I enjoyed Paris.
Oh, Avery Jones?
Avery
Brooks.
Brooks. Thank you.
Yeah,
Avery Brooks.
he did a good job.
good
I
actor.
enjoyed. Even though what you mentioned earlier about how it's possible that his role might have been or was supposed to be Asian.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed who he was and what he brought to the role.
Again,
I just felt like
not his
he was
fault.
cool as a leader
Yeah,
and as a villain.
for sure.
But then he bring the intensity.
Yeah, he was very intense. He was very like, someone has
Yeah.
crossed over and had backstabbed and had stolen my goddaughter. Yeah.
If this
very much
happened
so.
in your house,
Okay.
give the man a medal. Cookie, whatever it was, he said, give him something. Nicole?
LDP.
LDP, Lou Diamond
There you go.
Phillips. I love it. LDP. LDP. Mayor?
I went with Samuel Diamond Phillips or Lou Diamond Jackson, whatever you want to call him.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Yo, man, I got to get paid, son. You know
We're
how
gonna
we
get paid like some MFers,
I
man.
know, dude. It's so cringy.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't give it to him because
But not his fault. I gave,
don't think it was
I
his
gave him
fault.
to Lou Diamond
Yeah.
Phillips,
Nice.
He
too.
went-
Because,
He was intense. and
God
it-
bless the man.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going all
Didn't
in.
have to go that hard.
Oh, no.
He did, though.
He really did. Let's hear what the patrons had to say. We
Hey,
got
patrons.
Hey, patrons.
Sean McHugh playing with us today.
Sean
and
McHugh.
He said, Danny Smith, the video store
Yeah.
kid. He goes, my first go around, I really wanted to give this to Lou Diamond Phillips, but his overacting was pretty intense. But upon watching it a second time, my attention was brought towards Danny. Every line delivered was dripping with intensity.
Dripping.
From his head whip in the first scene
with like the coffee drip. Boop.
to his epic meltdown as the store burned. All right, so Sean goes with
Sean
Danny.
watched this twice.
That's right. Yes. I guess he did. That's the big takeaway.
Wow.
That's the takeaway on that one.
All right, Sean.
You're great,
Maybe
Sean.
you should get the Will Patton Award. for
Maybe
intensity.
Sean should.
Let's give it to him.
Sean went hard. All right, and then he went. So Jack Dean is our other patron playing today.
Hey,
Jack Dean said Avery Jones as Paris. He said Jones too.
It's Brooks.
It's Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll take it.
All right, Avery.
We know who he meant.
Plural also.
Really liked his intensity in the scene where he calls all the hitmen together to figure out who kidnapped Kiko. All right, so let me do some math here. We got 2 for Avery.
Yep.
You went Lou Diamond.
Lou
So did
Diamond.
I.
Lou
You did.
Diamond.
So that's
Lou
3.
Diamond.
We have
You
4.
We're
All right,
down
so
with
Lou
LDP.
Diamond, Phil. Yeah, we are down with
You down
LDP.
with LDP?
LDP's
Yeah, you know me.
gonna win the Will Patton Award. Well deserved for Lou Diamond Phillips. One of the cringiest performances I've ever seen, but
It's true.
he went hard
This movie
doing
was
it. Though.
filled with cringy
Yeah, it was a
performance.
very cringe.
The big cringe.
The next award we give out is Nicole's favorite award, the Michael Dudikoff trash can full of dirt that we give to the actor who displayed the acting range of a trash can full of dirt. So, who is your nominees? We'll go the other way this time, which means we're going to start at the kids' table. Who's your trash can nominee, Mayor?
See, I'm glad like Sean McHugh mentioned his name because I didn't care enough. I went with the video store clerk. I
Danny's-
hated that
okay.
guy.
All right. That's fair.
Useless.
I get it. I can't argue with it. It's rough to watch, but if he just did what he was told, I mean, I don't know.
I get that part, but I think, like you said before, if it would have been a step up each time instead of just like coming at 20 out of the gate.
Right. I got you. All right, Nicole.
If you're talking about the plot and a character, that if that character was removed, then it would be Antonio Sabato Jr.'s character.
Yes.
So,
But even what he did with it wasn't really spectacular.
right. I think he was doing a lot of Zoolander.
Yes.
So I almost put down, I might have even typed his first name before I deleted. I almost went that same route with Antonio Sabato Jr. But who I ultimately went with,
Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. You guys know me.
he was terrible in this movie.
Whoa.
Mark Wahlberg was terrible in this. And I like Mark Wahlberg. I mean, I've seen other movies of his that I've liked.
He's grown.
A personal thing with me and him.
He was
in
in my top picks too.
But my God, Mark.
I enjoyed him as the replacement of Shia LaBeouf in the Transformers series.
A deer in headlights in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who you got?
I was going to go with the store clerk, but I really hate Gump.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And
Gump
that's
was
earlier
bad.
why I started to defend him, because I knew I'd need to.
Sitting alone on a bench in a park.
You're right. You were right, Nicole. All right, Joe.
Okay, my trash can full of dirt. Winner.
So we've got 4 votes for 4 different people right now.
Yep. And I'm going to help you guys. I think this is going to help out.
Okay.
This is really going to solve.
It's going to solve it.
Yeah. The Big Hit. The entire
everybody.
freaking movie and cast and editors and everything that has association with this is a huge freaking pile of dirt.
So you would rather just sit
Trash
there and look
can
at
full of
a trash can full of dirt.
I would have spent the night with this thing and been more satisfied.
Wow. More than Bokeem's left hand.
Yes.
In his right one.
Yeah.
Yeah, who uses both hands?
I mean,
that guy. I'm
his
just
Look,
kidding.
there's something shiny. Let's talk about that.
I mean, his head was shiny.
There's nothing over there.
Yeah.
All right.
James, it's all votes. How's that work? How's that feel?
Well, we got 2
just votes on.
patrons, so
I know
the
we got
patrons,
All right.
the patrons could break the tie.
Hey, patrons.
Say hi to your mom.
How you doing?
I'll tell you what, though. Sean McHugh is not going to break the tie for us. Sean went with all of the goons, the nameless goons.
They weren't necessary. I get it.
Because I feel like the only direction they were given was act scary, and they couldn't even do that.
Open
Wow.
doors
That's true.
fast.
Okay? Open doors fast.
That's on my resume.
That is all they were going to
Yes.
Bam.
Yes.
Bam.
Good call.
And running away.
All right, but here we got Jack Dean is going to break
He's going
the
to
tie.
break the tie. Jack Dean coming
Jack
through.
Dean comes
holds.
through and pulls a win for Danny Smith, the video store.
Yes.
Yes. So Danny
We
Smith
have a winner.
will win.
We got there. We got there,
trash
ladies and
can.
I will
gentlemen.
say, I bet the auditions for that role were intense. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
day of auditions was just like hair blowing back all the time.
Casting director.
Videos being thrown.
Yes.
All right, that means we're going to move on. Now, this is totally subjective. It doesn't mean I won't tell you you're wrong. But it's our
I don't think that's true.
our top 3 performances. So these are the ones, regardless of their quality, for whatever reason. It could have been because they were so bad you loved it. But what were the 3 performances that you enjoyed the most out of the entire movie?
I have only one.
A top 1.
There's no 2. There's no 3.
only one
There is
performance.
one performance. I don't know.
Hit me with it.
He's
Stands above.
He's whatever it is the one hitman was like, screw this. I don't get paid enough.
I'm out.
And he's like, I'm out.
He ran.
The only guy that was trying to get the hell away from this movie. That is my one choice.
Antonio Sabato?
No, he was the guy
there was
that
a
got.
guy in a-
so he
the
was the one
slave-
that was protecting the guy in the towel or
Yeah.
the robe.
Oh, that's right.
And then he
one.
went
He
to
got
run,
shot.
and then the last
He's
one
like,
that got
screw this,
shot,
I'm done.
He's
I'm getting
like,
paid enough
Marky
for
Mark
this.
is shooting everybody up. I'm out.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
right.
I mean, he dies, but I
like that.
he gave it an effort.
So he was trying to get out of the movie. Sure.
All right, Mummer. Top 3? Or 1 if you only have 1?
No, So again, I liked Paris, so he was number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the dad in this movie.
Elliot Gould.
Yeah, I like him in other movies.
you
So
like him in
he's
this
still
one, too.
getting my vote.
He can really throw up.
For work not included in this picture.
Yes, and then I really enjoyed China Chow.
Okay.
I would have wished I would have seen her in more stuff, but apparently this was the only thing she was in.
Yeah, she didn't do a lot. She did a few things.
I was really impressed with her performance in this movie.
I think she had walked away with a bad taste in her mouth after being completely objectified.
Yeah,
in this
no, I
thing.
get it.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
just saying though.
I'm good. My Hollywood, I'm good. I'm going to be a teacher now or
Enough of
something like that.
Yeah, right.
Nicole, who's your top 3?
In third place, I'd put Bokeem Woodbine. I thought it was just fun to watch every time I saw him. Every time.
Hilarious.
Because he was not taking himself too seriously.
No.
And I love that. For number 2, it's just a tie for number 1, I guess. Yeah. I really liked how hard LDP went.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
My bad.
Whoa. whoa. Yeah, I liked how LDP went. And then Avery Brooks, I thought was
Okay, yeah.
real good. And fun fact, so Lou Diamond Phillips played Cisco, right, in this. Well, Avery Brooks was just in Deep Space Nine, where he played Captain Cisco.
How about
Yes, he
that?
was.
See?
Yes, he was.
Boom.
Whoa.
That's
Spelled
awesome.
differently. Now we just need a trifecta of
Full circle.
Cisco
No,
with a
that's
Q,
right.
and you got them all.
Perfect. Mayor, what's going on at the
right.
kids' table?
I got 3. Bokeem Woodbine. I think, he knew what this movie was and kind of played it. I think he was pretty funny in the scenes he was in. Avery Brooks was 2. I was like Avery Brooks.
Bokeem was like, I have one job. It's
he did it
stupid,
well.
but I'm gonna do it.
He did it well.
That's right.
I'm here for one thing and one thing only, and I'm
right.
going to do it well. Avery Brooks, too. I was like Avery Brooks. And number 1, I had Saab Shimono Jiro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had Saab Shimono in my, he was number 2 for me, but I thought he was every line, even this AAA
He did
thing,
great.
talking about all that.
He had
was
some good lines. He delivered them well.
I had LDP at number 3, and I had China Chow at number 1. I thought, I'll give it to her because I felt terrible for her that she was in this movie. But she seemed genuinely, likable.
She tried. I think she had.
Yeah.
She could have.
If I could have just seen a moment when she switched, I guess if she was angry and then I do like him. I think
Right.
it was too much I guess they're really trying to be she's super hot for him, and
she
that
would've-
was her.
from the moment she first saw him, when she
Yeah.
got pulled out of the limo, she
Yeah.
kind of gave him the eyeballs, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or if she did the whole she was almost seduced by the hitman lifestyle, and now she's going to be a hitman type of thing.
Something.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more rather than just
Yeah, like they would have left off and done it together. Kind
yeah,
of thing,
yes.
or started their own
they had some
business.
kind of connection or
get it.
something.
Something beyond, it's time for me to like you now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We can do a restaurant
Yeah.
together,
But I do think she did well.
Yeah.
like make some burgers.
Stuff some chickens.
Sean McHugh wrote in, he had number 1, Lou Diamond Phillips, was originally my Will Patton winner, but I'm pretty sure his overacting was all part of his character. I
Yeah.
think you're right, Sean. Number 2, Shab Shimono. He made me laugh with his line delivery. And number 3, Bokeem Woodbine. So some commonality among the top
Yeah.
3s here. And Jack said his number 3 was Elliot Gould. See, there you go, Kurt. As
Yes.
Morton Schulman. I didn't know he had a name. Number 2, Mark Wahlberg. And number 1, Lou Diamond Phillips. That's Jack's top 3. Thank you guys for writing in.
Thank you, guys.
Could you imagine for a moment? Because
I don't want
In your
to.
mind's eye.
no,
Please
in your
don't.
mind's eye.
Please don't do this to me.
No, look, dude. It's if you don't like it, it could be made better. It could be made better by adding one special ingredient. I'm not talking about something you rub erotically on a chicken. Okay, I'm talking about adding Arnold Schwarzenegger into The Big Hit. Okay,
But if you did rub him on a chicken, it would probably make the
chicken
movie
would be
better.
better.
Yeah.
What if Arnold played the chicken?
that could have been it. I'm trying to cook this Arnold Schwarzenegger here.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you got to get your hands.
I
dirty.
do love that
hands in there.
I do love that he never put it into an oven, and yet
it
it
was on
was
fire?
on
It was on
fire
fire.
in the middle of the kitchen.
flaming on the island. You're right. That's a
Flaming
good
chicken
point.
just spontaneously combusted right
Yeah,
there.
that's how
the hell's
hard
in
they
that
rubbed
rub?
it.
That's exactly what it is. They rubbed
Friction.
that sucker so hard. Those spices came together and lit that chicken on fire.
Yeah, I mean the patrons were like trading him in for Marky Mark, but I honestly, I think Arnold as Cisco would have been amazing.
I think so.
Especially because it seems like the director would have told him to read it like a black guy, and seeing Arnold doing that stuff would have been freaking hysterical. Could you imagine? Yes, hello, homeboy. What is up? It is time to get paid, my guy. Let's go. I'm going to bust a cab. Come, I will show you my hood.
You mother effers.
Here's mother. That's right.
What if you played the I forget his name, but the guy with the
Bokeem Woodbine. Yeah, I was thinking that,
What is
that too.
guy?
He's actually breaking it, and he just like, I
Yes.
squeezed it too hard.
Listen, I found something that saves me a lot of money. I don't have to have all these girlfriends and stuff, but I actually injured myself very badly and I have to stop because I'm too powerful and my hands are crushed.
I need it with the lanolin. It moisturizes my skin.
The only thing I can use is wax paper.
I got done with it, and it looked like a balloon animal.
All right.
What about the video? What about Arnold as a video store guy?
That's right. Oh my God.
That too.
I'm going to make you eat King Kong Lives. And I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it in your stomach and break your damn spine.
But if he got a call
Best
from
line.
that guy, it'd be kind of scary. Actually.
That would be scary at that point in time.
That's why I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Do
go
it.
on board
Then
with
it'd
the
work.
video guy.
Video guy.
Yep.
Video guy.
All right, look, y'all, we got to land on something here. We've ultimately got to come to a determination. The name of the show is Bad Movies Rule.
And it's a bad movie that
Sometimes
sucks.
there's movies that, I mean, in some way, I mean, the name of the show is Bad Movies Rule, and that because sometimes there's movies that have been declared that they're bad, right, by critics or people, and they are actually bad, full stop, no qualifiers, just bad. Sometimes they're so enjoyable because of their badness that they're a bad movie that rules, or they could actually be a straight up good movie. So those are our three kind of ultimate landing spots, and we have to come to determination on this one. Joe, I feel like is chomping at the bit for this, so Joe, I'm going to let you go first.
It is a bad movie that's bad.
Okay.
Full stop, 100%. Is the action, some action scenes kind of entertaining? Sure. Is some of the micro subplot amusing, couple of jokes? Sure. Even a blind squirrel can find a nut here and there. All right. But for the most part, the
Overall movie?
the overall movie, the sexualization of horrible situations, the
No, but it's okay. They made her a college student.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no big deal.
And threw soy sauce on her.
Yeah,
leg.
exactly.
Just-
To prove that she's a woman.
That's egg drop soup.
That's the best catch of the whole episode, Nicole, by the way.
It is. That is the hot take.
I was a psych major.
They did absolutely dark themes, and they tried to make them funny. It is a bad movie that is bad.
Okay.
It's not funny. It wasn't good. I hate
All right, Mums. Where you at, buddy?
It's a bad movie.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be entertained by it. I really did. There were, again, like Joe just said, there are times where there's some moments where it's okay, this is laughable, but they're just so spaced out. Yeah. And I didn't understand where they were going with the movie, and I feel like it never really tied together.
Yeah.
I felt like there was really no payoff. And so after I watched it, I went, never again.
Never again.
Never again am I going to watch this movie.
What was in the suitcase?
And that's always that's my go-to. Will I watch this again?
Are you
Whether
mad?
I'm going to make fun. No, I'm not mad.
Are you angry about it?
No, I'm not angry.
Do you want
about it.
retribution?
I am angry.
Go find Scott Kleinsmith and just let him know how you feel about it. That's what I want.
I'm gonna, you know what? After this episode's over, I'm gonna hit him up on the old Facebook, and I'm gonna say, next time you wanna add a movie to our list, you better think twice, Mister.
That's right,
Mr. Scott Kleinsmith.
All right, Nicole, where you at on this one?
Is it problematic? Sure.
Yeah.
Is it a bad movie? It is.
Yeah.
Does it rule? I think it does.
Her husband put her up to it.
Yes.
Her husband put her up to it.
I think it's like any movie when you've had it on the background a bunch, you just kind of like, you get these inside jokes with someone that you live with, your significant other or whoever.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
it's just funny, like the parts, like I would rather just skip the whole
Just-
plot with the fiance.
Just
and I would rather
normalizing
skip.
assault. It's okay.
Right,
It's no big deal.
But I wouldn't be
It's
focused
funny.
on that. I would go and just do
joking.
laundry and then come back. But there are parts that are
turn away.
funny and
Turn a
it's-
blind
and
eye.
it's kind of fun to see baby Marky Mark, where you know where he came from, and you can see him trying so hard. So
He was a great trier.
he's a great.
He's a great trier.
Great trier.
He's a great
Thank you.
trier.
One of our guys on Facebook Live gave us that one
was
earlier
amazing.
today.
He still has that award up on his wall to this day.
Yep.
You tried.
He did,
You're a gold star.
and he has improved, but it's still
Fair enough. All right. That's
then it's a fun.
two bad movies, one bad movie that rules. Where are you at, Mayor?
I did a little research on this. The actual title of it was The Big Shit because of what it left on the screen. But you can't put that on a movie poster, so they dropped the S.
It's very smart of him.
This is your dog just shits on your white carpet. It's not runny, it's solid, but it leaves a stain. You got to throw a throw carpet on top to hide it because you just got new carpet.
Yeah.
This is a bad movie, man. It's just bad.
Yes.
If Lou Diamond Phillips
I wanted
had a
to say
reason
bad
not
movie
like
that
it.
rules, but there just weren't enough of those enjoyable moments, and I kind of was like, would I watch this again? Even if it was on in the background, would I pay it any attention? Could I sit with it with friends and rip on it? No, it's just bad.
Okay.
What were you going to say about Lou Diamond
Oh,
Phillips?
so sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, that's fine.
if
He's on
his
the kids'
character, if Cisco had any reason to hate him, it would be so much. It would make so
Yes.
much more sense.
Yes.
And maybe that did happen, but they should tell us.
All right.
What about you? How do you feel about
Here's
this?
what- here's what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
please tell us.
Because I've watched this movie twice. Well, once I usually do it early in the week to just not take notes and get a feel for it. And then I watched it again. And if I had given my verdict after the first time I watched it, I would have said, this is a bad movie. In fact, I dreaded coming back to it for the second time. But the more I watched it, and the more ridiculous things that happen, and the most cringy moments of whether it's Lou Diamond Phillips' acting or Mark Wahlberg's literally existing on screen doing anything that he was doing, and all of the stupid moments. But there were so many times that I was laughing to myself saying, this is the stupidest, terrible, cringiest movie I've watched in a long time. But man, I had a blast watching this thing. And so I'm going to say proudly, this is a bad movie that rules.
Clang! Clang! Sorry, I was too busy shaking hands. So that's 2 votes that it's got for
You
bad
guys
movies
still
that
win. It's
rule?
3-2. It's still 3-2. So, well, let's see what the patrons had.
Yeah, let's hear it out.
We're right in there with the audience. I think
Yeah.
it was 50-50, right?
So Sean McHugh said, bad movie that rules. The only thing I remembered about this before I
3-3.
watched it was the opening shootout and the video store kid. My rewatch didn't disappoint. This movie is the epitome of the 90s. Oh, gosh. Remember Mark's sunglasses in
that
the
it
first
was.
scene?
And there was a sweet ska band song right in the suburbia.
It was. And a great popcorn flick. The jokes are bad. The editing is crazy. And see, you was right there. And the action is over the top, but I will watch this again. So 3-3. Here comes Jack, our
Okay, here it
final
goes.
vote.
Here it comes.
Here we go.
Don't let me down, Jack.
Come on.
This
Jack.
is a really weird movie. It kind of seems like a parody of Hong Kong action movies, but I'm not familiar enough with that genre to know if that's really where they're actually going for. It's got some decent action sequences and some parts that are pretty funny, but overall, it's just bad.
Yes.
Hang on.
The pommel
Hang on.
horse scene at the beginning had me wondering if Mark Wahlberg has ever considered rebooting Jim Cotta and casting himself as Jonathan Cabot.
There you go.
That's it. Bad movie from Jack Dean.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
Hey, I'm
Play
Mark
that.
Wahlberg.
Da, 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 da. Clang! Clang!
my favorite button on the whole board.
That's spectacular.
I don't know. That Marky Mark one's pretty good too.
Now, I will say, if you can imagine this script such as it is, and you cut out real bad parts, but
Yeah.
in the hands of different directors, this could be
Of an editor who is not blind.
right. But it could be so many different movies. Like, can you imagine Will Ferrell, like in it, and then just like taking it a whole new?
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
Like take it into a comedy.
Yeah.
Way? Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Either go one way or the other.
Yeah.
essentially. Right.
If they played the cringy bad parts bad, like played them how they're supposed to be played, as in like disgusting, and then some editing, some better
Actors.
thank you. Some better, it's better acting. Yeah. So basically, if they did the entire thing better and different, it would have been a great movie.
You're right. Movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than
think
the
if they
fact
just
that it was
would've-
all terrible, it was great.
If they would have just picked a lane, like
Yeah.
we're gonna make this a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stick it out. Make sure that's what it's known. But it just
right.
seems very like hodgepodged.
It is. It's bad. All right. Well, next week we'll talk about changing lanes to
Yeah.
a totally different type of movie. We're actually going to a comedy from the 1980s.
Comedy.
One starring Louis Anderson and Richard Lewis and Richard Belzer.
Oh.
And John Goodman is in this movie, and it's called The Wrong Guys.
Hey.
It's from 1988. It's about a summer camp. I think the
Yes.
old guys are now like going back to take a group of young Cub Scouts into the woods. They want to relive their favorite trip as kids and trying to provide that for these other kids.
Oh, I think I've seen this
But
movie.
chaos and hilarity ensues. I
Yes.
have not seen it, but
I
it
remember
is
that one.
not rated well. Some of the Wrong Guys will be next week, and we're going to have Grace Hauser is going to be back for the first time
Yeah.
There you go.
since Ernest Scared Stupid. So it's been a while since Grace has been on the show. So that'll be next week, and I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Do we want to cover why he's back?
You don't let to do that because we were supposed to do this during Mummer Man.
We never did.
and that was
skipped over it.
3 episodes
Who,
ago.
me?
Yeah.
Oh.
We haven't told the audience
That's right.
why you were gone, the real reason why you were gone, and why you're back.
We promised on episode 100 we were going to talk about why he was really in pun jail, and then we didn't, and it's now 3 episodes later, and we still haven't. But Kurt,
Let him do it, but
I'll let him do it. Kurt he was gone for 6 weeks, and we had made up this joke that he got stuck in jail because he had done too many puns on Condor Man and Short Circuit. But what actually happened, Kurt?
I had a surgery performed.
no, you didn't.
Well, kind of. I mean, my wife, bless her heart, had a baby.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's right. And so, like a good papa, he took some time off.
Yep.
Spent some time at home with his newborn baby son and
My recovering wife and
Recovering
yeah,
wife.
we got a proud little boy. So,
So we said, well, wouldn't that be fun if we covered for the fact that you're gone by, making it a thing that you've been in pun jail?
yes,
But,
So the whole thing was a joke, guys.
mostly.
it was a pun.
It was mostly a joke. It was a joke informed by the truth.
Yes, a little bit.
Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, it was all in good fun. I mean, we'd never actually ban Kurt from the show.
Well,
There's no way.
Give it time.
Or he would have to do something way worse than that.
No, but it was fun.
It was fun.
It was a good time. Having a kid was excellent. So
well, that's fun too.
yeah, he's been great. He's getting bigger, and we're all just happy to have me back here.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we'll have him back again soon. It's not going to be for Flight of the Navigator, though. It's going to be for another movie coming up, which will leave you all in suspense for what that is going to be. But in the meantime, we're going to sign off. And if you guys would like to, if you've enjoyed this episode and you've had a great time and you haven't yet joined up with us, there is a way to get more content other than these episodes we put out every Friday, and that's on our Patreon. And so right after we're done here, we're going to keep recording for another 10, 15 minutes and do a post show. And that's the only way to hear that. So if you head to patreon.com, were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, I saw you lean in. So head to patreon.com/badmoviesrule, and you can have access to all kinds of bonus recordings. You can vote on upcoming episodes. You can even submit your awards like you've heard us read on these shows, right? You can participate in the show. We've got a Discord channel. You can hang out with us and chat with us on there. And we do live sessions on there all the time. Well, not all the time, but we're going to. We just started because we just got internet in this place. Like
Nice. Amazing. Moving up.
So we're going to start doing more of that. And so if you're excited for the show, or if you've been following the show for a long time, you've enjoyed it, please consider supporting the show to help us go a long way into improving things and getting more things and more opportunities to do more content. So
Thank you in advance.
that's right. Thank you so much for those of you that are already part of it and supporting us. We
Exactly.
couldn't do this without you guys.
You're
You
welcome.
have the power.
That's right.
You're welcome, by the way.
Can you hit us with one more Wahlberg, please?
Yeah. You want one more?
I really do.
Yeah, that's right. So you guys are on a podcast. What's that like, huh? What's that all about?
No reason.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one.
Oh,
That was funny, though.
I still like that one too.
Say hi to your mother for me, okay?
Thank you, Andy Samberg.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. You guys know me.
I was in Max Payne.
I'm going to talk to
I
a
was in
donkey.
Entourage.
I was in Pain and Gain.
What's up, donkey? You live in a barn. What's that all about, huh?
Thank you.
Do you ever get to meet baby Jesus?
Do you like eating grass? Say hi to your mother for me, okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Say hi to your mother for me, okay?
No, I want the song. I want the song this time.
I have a restaurant. It's called Wahlburgers.
If you kidnap somebody, hide them in the closet.
Then put him in the trunk.
The parents are here, don't want to get caught.
Marky Mark, chicken's finger licking.
Cisco.
Is there some salmonella on that chicken?
You know what's all love, baby?
An MSG.
You know what this chicken needs? A pinch of assault and battery.
Get out.
I'll see you later.
Get out.
Peace.